to Santa Clara.
The home of the AFC champion New England Patriots. 98.5, The Sports Hub.
Seattle huddling up, down 4, but on the verge of the lead. Wilson with 33 seconds and counting. Waiting on the snap. Lynch to his left, Baldwin to the left as well. Stack receivers, 2 to the right. Russell Wilson extends the hands. He has it. Wilson, quick throw. And it's intercepted. Intercepted by Malcolm Butler. Butler has it at the 1. Malcolm Butler stepped in front of the throw.
No way.
And the Patriots have possession with 20 seconds to go in Super Bowl 49 with a 4-point lead over the Seahawks.
It's got to be one of the dumbest calls offensively in Super Bowl history. You are on the 1-yard line, and you have number 24, and you drop back pass. Are you kidding me?
No, you're not dreaming. This is a special Saturday broadcast of Felger Mazz, live from San Francisco at Underdogs Cantina. Getting you ready for Pat's Seahawks, brought to you by Coors Light. When the big game heats up, cool down with ice-cold Coors Light. Here are your weekend warriors, Felger and Mazz.
All right, hi everybody, welcome into the program. That's right, Felger and Mazz on a Saturday night, back in Boston, Saturday afternoon here in San Francisco. I don't know if I can do that Warriors intro all day long, Jim. I can't. Louthie, I can't. This is, you don't book Felger and Mazz for a pep rally, Mazz.
No, you don't.
We're not doing the Warriors thing.
Yep.
You can do that on your own time. But we are broadcasting live from Underdog Cantina. We're right across the street from, I've been calling it Pac Bell Park all week long.
Rightfully so.
It's Oracle.
It is Oracle Park, but the home of the San Francisco Giants.
Right across the street on King Street. So if you are coming down to the game from the Patriots, you're not going to make it if you're still in Boston. You're not going to make it here. But if you're in the area, come on by. They've just opened the doors, so it's filling up with Patriots fans. And we got you covered for the next 3 hours. And we are today brought to you by Coors Light. When the big game heats up, cool down with an ice-cold Coors Light. We're also broadcasting on our YouTube channel, so if you want to catch us on the video, go to the Sports Hub's YouTube channel, and that's where we'll be again for the next 3 hours up until 8 o'clock Eastern. Joining us just to start the show, Alex Barth, standing by. How you doing, Barthy? How's it going?
Good. How about this? This is something.
How's this? 11 years ago this week, Mazz, that Malcolm Butler play happened, and now they're back. Patriots, Seahawks. How you feeling about this?
So my emotional arc always changes as I get closer to the game. Like at the beginning of the, first couple of weeks, I tend to, the game is so far away that I have a hard time getting a good sense of what's going to happen. But as we get closer, I do start to feel a little bit more confident in the Patriots. It's not unusual for me to feel this way. I'm often wrong. I'll just make that part clear. But, the closer you get to the game, the more anticipation there is. You start to feel some of that buzz. The city starts to activate, for lack of a better word, and you can feel it. And this game here that was on when I came in today, I sort of got sucked right into it.
And they are replaying here. This may be maybe the NFL Network. I'm seeing this everywhere. They're replaying the 2014 Super Bowl Patriots Seahawks.
This game, I thought, was the best football game I've ever seen. I thought this game was absolutely spectacular. The finish was obviously historic, but I thought the game in and of itself was two heavyweights trading blows really the whole day. I think I said to you one time right after the game that every play to me felt like a car accident in this game. And so, it's just a great thing to kind of lead you into the next one, because the last time these teams met, it was absolutely, again, historic.
You picked the Seahawks earlier in the week, Mazz. Are you changing your mind as you're getting closer to the game?
I think they're the better team. I generally pick the better team. I'm sticking with the pick. But if you tell me, I expected to be booed. Thank you. But if even Worry...
Boo! You suck.
If even Worry is hurt and it shows up in the game... so I need to see what that looks like. I think that's a potential pivot that can totally flip the game. I think he's that important to their defense.
Okay. We are, again, broadcasting for the next 3 hours here. So phone lines are open. Take calls as we normally do. 617-779-0985. We release the hounds. Call in, and we'll talk to you all day long. We'll special guests throughout the course of the day. I guess Zoe's going to be by, right? Maybe Dave Andrews. And we'll see who else shows up. Alex Barth has been kind enough to give us some time off the top. Barthy, I was listening to Cerrone and Leroy earlier, and Cerrone is way in on the Patriots, and he was going through position by position and said not only is the gap close between these two, the Patriots are better. Patriots are much better, he said.
Yeah.
Do you agree or disagree?
If we're talking about the total roster, no. I think 1 to 53, the Seahawks have a deeper roster. I think they have a more complete roster. I think the Patriots are better at coach and quarterback. And that's been the story in the Super Bowl the last 3 years. When you look at the Chiefs up against the Eagles or the Niners, the more complete team versus those two key spots. I think it's close. I don't think the Seahawks are miles ahead of the Patriots, but they have a better roster. But the Patriots have a better coach, better quarterback, and maybe their best player plays what is Seattle's biggest weak point. Talk about Milton Williams going up against that interior offensive line.
I think Cerrone was saying that the Patriots receiving core is better, and it's not close, Mazz. It's not close.
Yeah, well, the next time I see Cerrone, I'll set him straight. So,
did I miss something with Jackson Smith and Jigba?
Well, I mean, he said they clearly have the best player. Like, he's not, he's not doing that. They clearly have the best guy, but his point was that if their number 2 is Cooper Kupp, the Patriots have 3, maybe 4 guys better or as productive as Cooper Kupp.
See, I think they have 3 or 4 guys who might be comparable to Cooper Kupp.
I mean, he looked at the production. Cooper Kupp's production is that of Mac Hollins, for example.
Okay, but again, I would also say that Cooper Kupp has gotten better as the year has gone along. So if you look at the year-long production, I think that's probably right. If you look at what Cooper Kupp has been over the last, call it, month and a half, 2 months, I think it's different. So all I know is this. On a third down play, if I'm the Patriots, I'm making sure I know where Cooper Kupp is. Now, you can say Mac Hollins fills a similar role, and I think there are guys that are comparable, but I think Kupp is playing well. There's something just quickly, and Alex, I want your thoughts on their receiving core too.
Yeah.
But there was something that Dan Orlovsky said to us, Mike, earlier in the week that I've been meaning to follow up on, and maybe we can do that today with some of these guys. But he talked about the Seattle tight ends and how he thinks that they're good, basically all-around tight ends, pass catchers and run blockers. And I haven't heard that from anybody else. So you tell me, Barthy, are they legit? Are those 2 tight ends good? Or is Dan Orlovsky talking out his ass?
They're good. They're good players. If it comes down to Seattle's tight ends needing to win them the game, that's not great for the Seahawks. But, I mean, if you give them an opportunity, they'll burn you. I still think the path for Seattle, though, is through JSN and Cooper Kupp. And to the point about Kupp's production, compared to a guy like Mac Hollins isn't playing opposite somebody that had 160 targets that the entire offense runs through. This is not the Cooper Kupp from the Rams where he's the high-volume target and he's just fallen off. They use him more in spots. And for all we've talked about Gonzalez and JSN, and I get it, it's a major matchup. In terms of talent, it's probably the best matchup in this game. I would expect them to send some help that way, too. You might end up with Carlton Davis and Cooper Kupp on the other side battling it out.
Hey, who do you like?
And those are 2 veterans who have been around.
In that?
I think that's a coin flip. It may be slight edge to Kupp, but if Kupp really gets in a rhythm, do the Patriots adjust back to that and risk less attention on JSN? That's going to be a fascinating matchup throughout the game. But I think Cooper Kupp, as a threat to the Patriots, has been under-discussed this week.
Davis athletically is better. Davis is longer.
Yeah,
I think so.
I like Davis to bully him a little bit.
He's longer. I don't know if he's tougher, but he's longer. I think he's faster. I think Kupp has lost a step. But if we're talking tactically, I think Kupp might be as equally better in that area. So, I do think that offsets. It's a good matchup.
Yeah.
You look at it, you would say physically, Davis should be able to handle him. But Kupp is smart, and he's a good receiver, and he doesn't need a lot of space. I think he'll catch what gets to him. So, to me, that's a pretty good matchup.
Is any team going to be able to run the ball, Barthy?
It's going to be tough, and they're probably both going to have to, because I think with these pass rushes becoming one-dimensional as a death sentence, I think we're going to see a lot of teams trying to run the ball, even if it's not working, continuing to go, just so they don't become predictable. And then it becomes, I think, success in the run game in this one, especially for the Patriots, isn't a bunch of 4 or 5 yard carries. Can you break one and just flip the field and get that one big play that gets you on the board? Things like that. Seattle, it's a little more complicated. Seattle, this is a stat I love going into this game. On 3rd and 6 or less, Seattle is the best team at converting first downs in the NFL. They're over 50% on 3rd and 6 or less. 3rd and 7 or more, they are 31st in the league.
Wow.
19%. So this is a game that will be decided on early downs when the Patriots are on defense. And Seattle's going to need to run the ball to stay ahead of schedule because they cannot afford to get behind schedule. But with their interior and the Patriots' interior defensive line, that's not going to be easy to do. And that is somewhere where the Patriots can potentially carve out a big advantage in this game.
I'm more confident in. I don't think either team's going to run. Let me say that straight up. But I'm more confident in Seattle's ability to fool me or prove me wrong than I am the Patriots.
Why?
Because I think that they can run a little more on the edges. I think Seattle's defense is pretty good 1 through 11. I think the Patriots' defense is still a little susceptible on the edges, particularly to the running game. And so, now again, at the end of the day, and I say a little more, I don't think either team's going to run. I think it's going to come down to the passing games on both sides. I'd look for the Patriots to make big plays because I think that Seattle defense is aggressive, and you might see a lot of 2-3 yard gains and then all of a sudden a 25 for the Patriots. Like that to me is their path to win the game. Whereas I think Seattle has the chance to be a little bit more of 7, 8, 12, something, a more sustained drive. And I'm not telling you it's going to last 13 plays, but I think they might be able to put together an 8-play, 9-play drive.
This is also where the Eamon Worry injury starts to come in, and this could be potentially huge. Seattle plays nickel more than any team in the league, and they're elite, or they're very good against the run in nickel, and they can do it because Nick Eamon-Worry is 6'3", 230 pounds, and moves like a cornerback. He's got that speed and that strength. If I'm the Patriots, I test him early and see where that ankle is, and try running to that side and see if he can set the edge and see if he can chase down backs to the sidelines and things like that. And look, if he proves he can do it a couple times, you go away from it because you don't just want to continually test him all day. But if he's not 100%, it does open the door for the Patriots to have a little more run success.
Again, we're at Underdogs Cantina here on King Street in San Francisco, right across the street from the ballpark, meaning the San Francisco Giants ballpark. Oracle Park. So if you're in the area, come on by and say hi. We are located right here on the ground level. Right when you come in, there's a big line out the door, which is impressive how you people travel.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I went out to get a cup of coffee a minute ago. Yeah, Mazz, where you going? Where you going, Mazz?
Where are your napkins, Felger?
You're not leaving, are you?
You need some napkins. We just got here 3 hours. We're going to be get you ready here. And again, this is all brought to you by Coors Light. When the big game heats up, cool down with ice-cold Coors Light. Again, we're taking calls at 617-779-0985. We'll get to them after we take a quick break. I'll just tell you my thought, Barthy. It's less X and O driven and matchup driven. I just like the Patriots because I think at the end of the day, they've had a steadier hand throughout this postseason. I think Vrabel on down. And listen, Drake May has made a lot of mistakes, a lot of turnover-worthy plays, a lot of turnovers. There's no question about it. But they were still steadier than the opponent that day. Okay, they were both, the Texans and the Patriots were both shaky that day. I thought this last game, the Patriots were pretty steady. And I think when you just look at it, I mean, going into it, I would have said Harbaugh and Justin Herbert and DeMeco Ryans, who I like, and C.J. Stroud and Sean Payton. Those are all formidable coaches and formidable operations where, I don't know, that you would say, well, where's the check mark? And I think you came out of each of those games saying there was just a steadier hand in New England. And I guess that's the coaching. A little bit of Drake May. But that's just what I expect. I expect a steady hand in this game, and I expect us to come out of the game looking at the Seahawks saying, boy, they effed that one up. As we have each of these last 3 games. Boy, they sure effed that one up. And I think we're going to see that again in this game. I can't tell you what it is. I just know, that's how it's been for a month. So I don't know why it would change in this game.
I think that's a good assessment. And you look at those last couple games, and this is something that we've seen with a lot of good quarterbacks. Brady's one where he had some monster games in the playoffs. He had some games where he wasn't that great, but when he needed the 2 or 3 plays he needed to make the difference, he would step up and make the 2 or 3 plays. And you look at the Chargers game, the Houston game, when he wasn't playing well, but when he needed to just flip the switch and give him one. He gave him one, the throw to Hunter Henry, the throw to Kayshon Boutte, the run before the end of the half. And I don't think the Seahawks roster is so much better than the Patriots that if Drake May can give him 2 or 3 of the plays that Sam Darnold can't, and based on talent level, that's not an unrealistic expectation by any means, that could be the difference again, and that's the same game script we've seen.
Okay, like I said, 617-779-0985. Your phones coming up next on a special Saturday night Super Bowl weekend edition of Felger and Mazz.
Yeah, Felger and Mazz SNL.
And we're live at the Underdogs Cantina in San Fran. To you, right after these words. you feel the Patriots are a cut below this Seahawks?
Lucky.
I do. I think they're a good team. But I also think that a lot of luck is going their way. I don't think they're the same team as the Seattle Seahawks. Now, that doesn't mean they can't win. It just means I'll be damned if I'm picking them. I'm not picking the Patriots to win the Super Bowl. I think they're going to lose. And I think they're going to lose because I think that when you're the New England Patriots, you go against the Chargers, who was a big-time defense. You go against the Texans, who was an elite defense. You go against the Denver Broncos, who had 68 sacks, 4 shy of an all-time record by the Chicago Bears in 1984. None of them were Seattle. And then offensively, you didn't run across any of those quarterbacks in Justin Herbert and C.J. Stroud or the Jarrett Stidham, okay, that was comparable to Sam Darnold and what we've seen in the NFC Championship game, in particular against the Los Angeles Rams.
Different time, different day, still Felger and Mazz. This special edition of Felger and Mazz, live from San Francisco at Underdogs Cantina, is brought to you by Coors Light. When the big game heats up, cool down with ice-cold Coors Light. Now, Felger and Mazz.
Well, there we go. Welcome back to the program, everybody. Mazz, they're cheering us.
I know.
Is it us, or what are they cheering?
No, not us.
They can't be real listeners.
No, we should celebrate it, though, because it'll never happen again.
Yeah, right.
I feel like I'm on that college football show on Saturday with Chris Fowler and Saban and all those clowns.
All right, 617-779-0985. Let's take some of your calls here, as promised. How about Joe? Okay, I hit the wrong button. Hold on. Jeff, back there, do me a favor. Call Joe in line 2. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, Wes, but doesn't matter. Hey, just before I get to my take, I did want your guys' thoughts on being there for however many years in a row. I think it's a great thing that you guys are there. You do a great job. So, anyways, that being said, I like the Patriots in a close game. I'm worried if Seattle comes out, they're going to come out on fire. If they get ahead, especially third quarter, I don't think the Patriots can do it.
Okay, Joe, thanks for the call. Alex, who's better, more equipped to come from behind in this game?
The Patriots.
Why?
Because, again, Seattle their offense really falls off when they're forced to become one-dimensional, when they're forced to become a traditional drop-back passing team. They're so reliant on play action. They need to stay ahead of schedule. And with their offensive line issues, if the other team doesn't have to worry about gap integrity and playing the run and keeping their assignments and all that, and just pin their ears back and get after Sam Darnold, that's where they've struggled. That's where he's struggled, especially with the turnovers. With the Patriots, we've seen them win without the run game, and Drake May just kind of playing hero ball. They haven't done it against this level of defense, but they've done it. So if it's one team coming from behind, I think the Patriots are better equipped to do that, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's what this game ends up being.
You have an answer, Mazz, on that?
I would worry about 2 scores either way. I think I agree with the premise that May and the Patriots offense is a little more explosive and that they could certainly make up that gap. But I also think that if you give that Seattle defense the message that you're only going to be able to do one thing, and now all of a sudden with the left side of the Patriots O-line, I think it's open season on the quarterback potentially. So that would scare the crap out of me. If I were either team, I don't want to fall behind by 2 scores.
Mike in Tampa, you're up next with Felger and Mazz. Go ahead, Michael. And Jeff, I don't know why I can't call him up. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Michael.
Hey, guys, I think Vrabel and that interior line is going to throw some crazy blitz packages at Sam Darnold, and then he's going to be waiting with Snoopy, Linus, and Charlie Brown in the pumpkin patch after. So that's what I got for you guys.
I was reading from Bedard about how both of these teams stunt, 1-2 in stunt rate or whatever.
Seattle does it more than anybody, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Seattle does it more than, and it's not just that they do it more than everybody. Their stunts and twists, they run some more complex stuff than you see around a lot of the league. They'll come out and set like actual picks, like basketball picks. They'll bring guys all the way around the line, things like that. It's a lot to handle, and the all-rookie left side has struggled with that at times this year. Now they had an extra week to get ready for it. You hope that helps, but like Mazz said, if the Patriots fall behind, that's the bigger issue. To my point about the Seahawks, because it is kind of similar. Let's say, you have to take one quarterback with a constant rush in obvious passing situations, rushers in their face the whole time. I'll take May in that situation over Darnold.
Me too.
And that's the difference. I don't think either quarterback is going to be in a good situation if they fall behind. I just think May will make more of that situation, whatever it is.
What is the better offensive line? Mazz, what's the better offensive line?
I'd say Seattle by a little bit. And also their offensive line, at least in the run game, is apparently very, very good. So now the pass protection thing, I would rather pressure come from the edges than the interior. Seattle, it sounds like, is vulnerable on the interior. That's a good development for the Patriots. But that left side for the Patriots basically feels like half the field gets lost. And so I'd be a little more, you can guard a little, you can defend a little bit more on the interior if your line is weak, because your tackles can pinch in, your backs can pick up people coming through. I think to lose the left side of the line like that is a bigger problem.
I think if Will Campbell's fully healthy, it's the Patriots. And he said last week that was the first time he really felt fully healthy after that knee injury since coming back. And I did think you could see it. And he played better against Nick Bonito, who is a good rusher. If it's Will Campbell the couple weeks prior, then it's Seattle. His health and his condition, where he's at, kind of is the tiebreaker there.
Okay, I'm going to try this one more time. How about Josh in Ipswich? Did that work? It didn't. I don't know why I can't. Jeff, you got to help me out. Josh in Ipswich on Tom Brady. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. I just wanted to know what your thoughts are on Tom Brady right now. I mean, he said he didn't have a dog in the fight. It was all the drama about that. But then, we see last night he posted 2 pictures with Robert Kraft on Instagram, clearly saying things about the Patriots. He's like, let's get you guys another ring. I just want to know where you guys are at with Tom Brady right now as of this season.
I think we've been kind of down on him. And the thing overnight, just loosely speaking, was picture of Kraft. I got your back. RKK, go get 7. So we
can match me or something.
You can match me. Mazz, you're already making a face.
Yeah, fraud. He's a total fraud. All of a sudden, everybody's pissed off at him, and now all of a sudden it's I'm a Patriots fan again. If you guys keep busting his chops, he'll be rooting for a blowout by tomorrow. Just keep going. He'll say whatever anybody wants him to say. Hey, Mr. Again, Plastic Man, Mr. Politics. So all of a sudden people are pissed at him, and now it's, I don't know what you're talking about. I never said that, which is effectively what the message is. Phony, $3 Tom.
I think that, unfortunately, that first comment to Jim Gray was his true feeling. He just, for whatever reason, doesn't really have an emotional attachment, despite all the winning and all the time and all the accomplishments. I do not think he has an emotional attachment to the team, the Patriots, the colors, the logo, the city. There's no emotional attachment there. Now, Mazz would counter that by saying he has no emotional attachment to anything other than his brand,
right?
His
money.
business. Yeah.
So whoever's paying him is who he'll support.
So that's why, and I haven't heard a ton of people phrase it this way, but he has no professional tie to the Patriots. It doesn't impact him professionally, financially if they win or lose. And yeah, maybe he's being a little aloof because he's the owner of the Raiders, who are reportedly going to hire Clint Kubiak, the Seahawks offensive coordinator, as their head coach. So no dog in the fight. If Clint Kubiak comes out and the offense looks terrible, isn't that a little bit of a dog in the fight on the other side? Like, why'd you hire this guy? Right?
Yes.
So, that is a more professional tie. If anything, he has 2 dogs in the fight. We could debate whether it's 1 or 2. It's definitely not 0.
You know what? If he had said that, I'd actually say, okay, well, there's something a little more honest. I have 2 dogs in the fight. We're invested on the Seattle side, too. That's a little more. I just don't like the plastic bull crap. That's what, and Brady's good at it. He was here for 20 years and not always said nothing, but most of the time talked and said nothing. And so I would rather have something like that. To pull the 180, oh, God, please. I'd have more respect if he just took the bullet the first time.
But it's still like, he still didn't say anything to the fans.
Right.
It was for Robert, which is still...
Good point.
Which, and I don't think he's shunning the fans there, but I think it's just an insight. I don't think he thinks about you guys, which is kind of crazy. You know what I mean?
Of course. Yeah, it's a good point. He really made it clear, like, this is now being interpreted as a slight of the Patriots and Robert Kraft in particular.
So it's Kraft he wants to mend it with, but what about everybody?
Because Kraft is the only one left that really has that he has any connection with. For the most part, I mean, he played with Vrabel, but which is why I said to you that the comment really came off to me as much as a shot at Kraft as anyone else, and now he's tried to erase that part of it. But you're right. There's no allegiance paid to the fan base.
Just think about in terms of who could help him the most or hurt him the most going forward in life. Who is it?
Kraft, probably.
Kraft.
Yeah.
So you kiss the ring. Anyway, Interesting week for Brady, I would say, and the Patriots. Jimmy, or Jeff, I'm sorry, back at the ranch. Would you please grab Rich in Arlington on line 1? I want to hear from Rich. Go ahead, Rich. What do you got?
Hey, what's up, Felger? Hey, I was just going to say, if the Pats win tomorrow, which I think they are, it's going to be considered kind of like one of those COVID, weak Disney, Mickey Mouse type years. They had a weak schedule, which is only going to fire Drake up to win another one back-to-back. What are your thoughts?
Okay, well, let's worry about next year when we get there. But I think they're easy schedule, Barth.
Last I checked.
Is it okay for me to say that?
Yeah, look.
Is it all right?
Yes. It was an easy schedule.
Is it all right? Is it all right? Okay.
Yeah,
their easy schedule. Let me finish. Their easy schedule plays to their advantage. It plays to their advantage in terms of getting overlooked a little bit, in terms of the point spread, in terms of the betting public, in terms of the handicappers, in terms of people on ESPN or anywhere else. You know, Stephen A. Smith, the cut we just played. They're lucky to be here. That's a big advantage for you. If the teams are relatively close, which I think they are, you'd always rather be the underdog, the one that's overlooked, and all of that. And I think your easy schedule puts you in that place. So it's a good thing. It helps you get here, one, but it's also helped everybody overlook you, which is where exactly you want to be.
Yeah, and somebody's done the breakdown. The last 10 Super Bowl winners all had, relatively easy schedules. They were in the bottom third or whatever of the league.
Yet whenever we bring it up, you get your panties in a bunch.
I
heard about you tweeting when we were talking about easy. Oh, here they go with the easy schedule again.
I didn't do that.
Yes, you did.
I did. We can go look.
Can we go check his timeline, Mazz?
You should have seen him yesterday when Drake made him get the MVP. I thought he was going to cry.
It's Alex Barth, right? You guys know.
I'm just busting your balls.
I've said all along, it's an easy schedule. It's why they're here. But last I checked, they don't put your strength of schedule on the banner. So
thank God, because that would have looked very good up there.
If that's how they get there, that's how they get there.
Alex, thanks for helping us out.
Of course, guys.
Paul Perillo standing by. We'll talk to Paul right after these words. Don't go anywhere. Felger and Mazz here from San Francisco and Underdogs Cantina.
from Underdogs Cantina in San Francisco. Brought to you by Coors Light. When the big game heats up, cool down with ice-cold Coors Light. Now, here they are, your weekend warriors, Felger and Mazz.
All right, we are back here at Underdogs Cantina. We're supposed to talk to Perillo, but someone else came by. Guess who?
I'm sorry.
Guess who?
I'm sorry.
Guess who shows up?
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
How we doing, everybody?
What's
good?
up, So?
It's good to see Felger and Mazz, the number one 2 to 6 drive time show, not only in Boston but in the country. Crushing it. Guys had a good week?
We had a great week. You?
Good, really good week. First of all, I'd like to thank Mary Mena and the Beasleys, and saw Caroline Beasley and Dennis Knutson and Mark Capella. Mark Capella busts his ass for this week, for you guys and us. Booking guests like Stephen A.
Tremendous.
Chris Russo. Chris Russo. Mazz, how we doing? Yep. And Chris Berman for us, and we had a lot of great guests. And Dennis and Capella come out Saturday to set everything up. Dennis has been working his ass off and we got a great setup for the game.
No, we have a great team. They do a great job. Even Dennis.
Thanks to everybody. But,
Dennis.
This is not an easy week to pull off, as you can see the type of equipment that we have, and to come across the country. You guys know what it was like to fly here. It's an investment, and we appreciate it. It's good to be back in the Super Bowl. Last time was 8 years. My son was 8. He's here. He's 16. He got lost at the last one, Mercedes-Benz. He went out the wrong exit of the bathroom. Quick story, my wife comes in at halftime. She's crying, and all the league security's around her with state cops. I'm like, what's the problem? She goes, I can't find him. Okay, you can't find who? And they said, what was he wearing? She said a Tom Brady white jersey with blue sweatpants, which 60,000 people were wearing. So Mercedes-Benz, nobody's ever been in there, the new bathrooms, they run like 60 yards. So the entrance, she was waiting for him by. He went out the exit, went one section over too many, was sitting watching Maroon 5. This is when Dave Portnoy was getting carried out at halftime. And needless to say, some fine lady brought him back over, and we got him. So he's back. Yeah.
We're not going to lose any children this time.
No, exactly. If he gets lost, that's on him this day.
How you feeling about the game?
Yeah. I did Mike today for 98.5, so I already did the pregame interview.
So you talked to Vrabel.
The Hay is in the barn. They're a loose group. They were going over to do the team picture at the stadium. So plan early if you're going over. This thing is really spread out. For Super Bowl city, I wouldn't do the game here again because I think there's 3 different cities. There's San Francisco, San Jose, and Santa Clara where the game is. If you're in an Uber, it's going to be 2 hours with traffic, so get ready for it. Don't be patient. Plan ahead is what I'm saying. But
how do you feel about the game?
The team hotel, they're loose. The family's there. They're staying all at the team hotel. This is a much different group than with Bill.
Why? What do you mean?
We've been on the road, played the Jets. All the wives were on a plane. Down and back.
Here, for this team.
No, yes, for the Patriots team. Like, we're like, holy crap.
No, what I mean is, this bill wouldn't allow.
You could have, and like, Mike's office is open. I go in, I go out. There's an openness to it with stretch and everything. And Bill was great at what he did. Bill had horse blinders, though. And Bill's not the biggest people person, as you people know.
No, I couldn't tell
Mike,
that.
You know him as good as I do, like, from Nantucket.
No.
Like, Bill, if you're good with Bill, he'll talk to you. But Mike's people skills are much better.
So,
and it is wide open.
I feel like I'm Beetle now. Here, how does the team feel to you?
The team feels great. They're going to go after his ass. They feel that Sam Darnold is the same way Jarrett Stidham. When I interviewed Mike about Jarrett Stidham, he said I watched all 406 pro snaps that he played. They only blitzed him 25% of the time. They went after him 68% of the time last week.
Stidham, you're talking about now.
Yes, Stidham.
So now Darnold's the same
Darnold,
thing?
and I said, a lot of Patriots fans think of Sam Darnold as a Jet. He's not the same guy. I think he got fixed with Shanahan to a certain extent. Then he went to the Vikings with O'Connell. He's in a great place now in Seattle, but he doesn't move outside the tackle box, which is good for Chazon, and Jennings is going to get a lot of love. Landry may play in this game, so he is dressing. He's going to play. The middle pressure with Milton Williams and Spillane is 100% from what I'm told. That's what Mike said today. They're going to go after him in the middle. No quarterback likes to have people at their feet. I think early in this game, as everybody's hyperventilating, as much as they say you've got a lot of new Patriots in this game for the first time, effing Seattle's got new guys too.
Totally.
Like their schedule is the same as us when you look at. Well, they play.
No one asked you about the schedule.
Here we go.
Here we go, Felger. You think it was?
No one asked you about the schedule.
The Jalen Brown stuff was fuck. Oh, sorry. I said F. Dump that, Dennis. Was good. The Jalen Brown stuff was good. That was good back and forth.
What is so again? Obviously, you think they're going to blitz. What about the other side of the ball? What do the Patriots have to guard against?
Drake May is fine. Supposedly, the people I talked to Thursday and Friday was airing it out all over the field. These are people that were in watching it. He's handled the week really well. He doesn't have to play great. He has to play good. By saying good means don't put the ball on the damn ground.
No turnovers.
Don't let the edge guys knock it out of your hand. If it's there, take it. I think tight ends are going to be big in this game. I think it's a big Hunter Henry, believe it or not, Ramondre Stevenson. I think it's your second half MVP. I think it'd be a big Ramondre game. Run the ball, and then let Drake with his feet make some plays.
So I have another question for you. Yesterday when we were on the air, Carlton Davis indicated what their coverage plan was.
Did you hear this?
Yeah,
Gonzo.
That Gonzalez was going to cover Jackson Smith and Jigba, and he was going to follow him the whole day.
Be careful of that.
Okay, A, do you think it's true? And B, what do you think of the plan?
I think it's going to be a mix. And this is the one thing with Zach Kerr, the defensive coordinator. And by the way, Terrell Williams is out here. I saw him at the hotel. So he is with the team, working with them. He's been around. It's good for the guys seeing him around, free of prostate cancer. I think they're going to mix it up. Here's what I know. And I talked about this. Stephon Gilmore was at the welcome party on Thursday night, and I love Steph. And he laughs at the cover corners versus, who should be $35 million. He goes, I'm a money guy. He goes, they're going to have to pay Gonzalez, but he's not me. I cover man-to-man. They do cover man-to-man. When we were good and we would play the Chiefs and Tyreek Hill, you would take Jonathan Jones, put him on Tyreek Hill.
Right, the second corner.
Steph, we're getting number 2. We're going to double him.
Right.
Would help.
I've been saying this for 2 weeks.
The Chiefs, if you're Seattle, you're stupid if you don't think you're.
So you think Carlton Davis was lying?
I think it's part of
playing a game.
Why is he going to give it a game plan?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he had a bad moment.
They will mix them, but here's what they won't do. They won't walk with you. Carlton will stay on one side and Gonzo stays on one side. Revis will just stand over the ball like Ty Law. Wait, where am I going? When the huddle breaks.
So they're still not going to. Gonzalez is not going to follow him.
I think Gonzalez will follow him a little bit, but then you're gonna mix it up. I'd mix it up.
So I was just going to say, if he lines up on Gonzalez's side, it'll be one-on-one. On the other side, he'll get doubled.
Then you're going to go with Cooper Kupp, number 2, right?
Yep.
Kupp's going to be the number 2 guy. You got to stop the run. They're better. We're way better against the run with Milton Williams in there. He and Barmore are different guys when Milton's in there with Spillane. Because then it sits Jack Gibbons and Ellis. Everybody likes to laugh at these 2 guys. As far as being special team guys, they're good. But they fly around, they'll knock your head off.
So, I'm going to peel back a little bit because they don't think much of Sam Darnold, do they?
No, I don't either.
Okay, but they don't.
They don't. They're pretty long. I mean, think about the stretch of quarterbacks.
Why are you laughing, Mazz?
Because
they're playing, Mike, they're playing Sam freaking Darnold.
I agree, but listen, that's us.
I know.
That's how you pants crapper and this thing goes. But these are you're saying the team feels along the same way.
How do you not? You're human. Like, football. If you know football, you know what this guy is. The best thing they got is he's not Lamar Jackson. He's not any of these. He's not Josh Allen, where if there's pressure, this guy's going to break containment, stretch the play, extend it for 11 seconds, let his receivers run break routes, and do it like Drake did to the Buffalo up there that Sunday night. He's going to be 5.5 yards. I think there's a chance Caleb on Chason, of all people, and Jennings could be impact players in this game, meaning a ball or two knocked out.
Why do you snicker when Zoe says the team doesn't think much of him?
Because it's, I just think it's,
he knows
he's on the other side.
He knows they're going to go after their ass, and we're going to be talking about a Patriots victory on Monday.
No, I think he's vulnerable. I think Darnold is vulnerable, but I also don't think he's the same guy as he was with the Jets.
I think he's a train wreck waiting to happen. I do.
I'm not sure.
And I think they're nervous as hell. And I think they're nervous as hell.
I mean, Seattle's nervous as hell.
And I think the Patriots
Why do you think Seattle's nervous as hell? What indication do you have that they're nervous as hell?
Because everybody's picking them. And I hear some of the responses coming in like, hey, we hear everybody's picking. It's great to be in that spot, but that other team deserves to be here. They went through the Chargers, the Texans, on the road, regardless of who played. Weather and on the road in Denver, which is a miserable place to play. That's a pretty good gauntlet with 3 teams. Now, I know who the quarterbacks were in that, and they know who their quarterback is. So they're looking at the Texans and Denver as, holy crap, we're them. And look what the Patriots did to their backup or their not so great elite quarterback. He's not an elite quarterback. He's in the Super Bowl. I like the path. I feel bad for Sam Darnold that they let the mic'd up stuff get out about seeing ghosts. We all see ghosts. When you're confused as a quarterback, you see ghosts. It is cabin fever. Phil Simms called it cabin fever. I used to call it ghosts. Parcells used to yell this all the time. What do you guys, seeing ghosts? And that's a saying. And now he's the bad guy for seeing ghosts. No, that's normal. It's human.
But they don't think much of him.
They're going to go after his ass. Because I know this, that there are indicators of the amount of people at ESPN and people that picked.
Oh, so listen,
Seattle.
that's a big
It's all
advantage.
over. It's all over the hotel.
They should go after him.
It's all over the hotel.
It's all over the hotel?
We're the underdog. We're waiting.
When you say it's all over the hotel, we never. They
They're aware of it.
They put a picture,
They're aware
a
of it.
poster. Yeah,
They're aware of it.
Big advantage.
I saw it.
Big advantage for the Patriots. Honestly, to be able to play the underdog card is great.
Honestly, we're playing with house money being here. I mean, I don't want to say that. You're here. Go win the effing game, right? You're here. And I told that Mike before the playoffs, like, you belong. You've earned this opportunity. He goes, we know that. And that's the cool thing. And here's where they're going to win the game. And it's not going to be an on-the-field thing. It's when we talked to Stretch on Monday night at the player
opening night. Yeah,
he told us the amount of different hats that he wears and how in Denver they perfected this substitution change with the clock, and they're staring at the 15-second clock to where there's a referee stand over the ball and they know backup quarterback's calling signals. This would be Sam Darnold on Sunday. So if Smith and Jigba and they change it out with Cup and they go to two tights,
15 seconds.
They got to stand. They're going to wait the 15 seconds. They're going to run a big fat guy on, and he's going to go, oh. I got to go back to the sideline. They're going to buy another 10 seconds.
15 seconds is when they shut out the coach communication, is what you're saying.
That's where, believe it or not, Brian Hoare of all people figured that out on a TV copy to help them beat the Rams in that Super Bowl.
I remember that.
Because Sean McVay would talk to Jared Goff.
I know.
And then boom, 15 seconds, Goff's like, nobody's talking to me. Hold my hand. They're gonna F with the clock again. This is what Stretch does, and he went through the whole play-by-play thing. But it's more about Doug Marrone, and he has two guys under him working with the line. And I watch this during the game. Like, you watch Herbert come to the sideline, and for whatever reason, Sam Monson voted Herbert MVP. Kid puts a helmet on the back of his head. He crosses his arms like he's Aaron Rodgers on the sideline. Nobody works with him. And Jim Harbaugh's standing there with a puff jacket. He's got his tongue going a million miles a minute. And this is right in front of our broadcast. I'm watching this. I'm like, Bob, look at this.
All right, how did we get here? I mean, what were we talking about?
So the staff, the Patriots coaching staff, to watch in between series the amount of time and Mike moving left and right.
Yeah.
And
I like the coaching.
Marrone's got him.
Yeah.
Josh is in. Drake's here 100% of the time.
So they'll make Darnold fly solo is what you're saying.
Yeah.
And get to him. They think Darnold sucks. Your buddy Jim Louth is giving you the axe.
What?
We have to move on. I think he wants Reese to come on here. I think we had some other guests.
You're out.
You're out,
I love you guys.
You're
Thanks.
out. Love you,
I'll see you Sunday.
Okay, babe. See you Sunday.
Hey, let's fucking go.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. Okay.
Drop that shit.
Yeah. We're right back from Underdogs Cantina in San Francisco right after this.
Felger and Mazz.
Yep. All right, welcome back to the program. Felger and Mazz, a special Saturday night edition of Felger and Mazz. Saturday afternoon here in San Francisco. We're at Underdogs Cantina, right next to Pac Bell Park. I keep saying that. Oracle Park here in San Francisco. And we are now joined by Mike Reese and Paul Perillo. Are you ready for some sunshine, Mazz?
Oh, yeah, no tons of it.
The Twin Towers of sunshine right here.
It's a little warm-up for all access later.
Yeah, a lot of happiness in this room.
So my favorite thing, just talking to Zoe, and he was at the team hotel, and he's with the team, and Zoe can't quite help himself. So I think he's really given us some sort of straight insight there. He says the team doesn't think much of Sam Darnold. Forget us. The guy's going to crap his pants. He's going to see ghosts. This guy's still got the choking thing in him. Forget us saying that, or fans saying that. The team might feel that way. Do you get that sense, Paulie?
I'm going to let Mike start here because he's much more tapped into the team. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, Milton Williams had said that Sam Darnold is like C.J. Stroud in that if you let him sit in the pocket, he will pick you apart. So their job is to do to him what they did to C.J. Stroud. So I took that to mean that that's how they view him. Like, you know, he will beat you if you let him, but they feel like they can turn him into C.J. Stroud.
Yeah,
into a puddle.
And the numbers are what they are. You know, under pressure, he's a different guy. And he's still, I mean, as good of a season as he had, he still led the league in turnovers for quarterbacks. So it's, you know, we want to have all the cliches of the ghosts, or you go back. Look at his numbers against the Patriots. It's like 1 touchdown, 9 picks all time. I think that's still there, Mike. I think that little, indecision under pressure is still there.
And that's the big part of the game to me is the running game. We know that Seattle, I think, led the league in rushing attempts. So much of their offense is based off the running game. Mm-hmm. So the Patriots are approaching it this week. Stop the run. Get them out of 3rd and 2 to 5 where they lead the league. And then you can go after Sam Darnold. So to me, if that happens, that gives them the best chance to win.
So, Mike, one of the things that we've been talking about on the show, and I admit I'm a little obsessed with this, so bear with me, but I feel like during the postseason, the Patriots have blitzed more.
They have.
And they've been unbelievably effective when they have blitzed.
100%.
Who do I credit for that? Who do I look at and say, whoever's designing and calling these blitzes, and I'm really focused more on the design part, but somebody has come up with something magnificent there because it feels like they get home every time.
So start with Zach Kerr, the defensive play caller. I think part of it is a little bit of who they're playing. So a couple weeks ago, the Chargers, they're on their 4th and 5th offensive tackle. So you feel like you can go ahead and do that, right? This is going to be tougher. I would say the Seahawks offensive line, maybe the weakness is on the interior a little bit, but the tackles are pretty good. Might be harder to have that plan.
But absolutely, I think it's less than 4 yards of play when the Patriots have blitzed throughout this postseason. It's been a different group, and that is the number one thing that opened my eyes. I thought they could win these games. I think I picked them to win all 3 of these postseason games, but I didn't necessarily expect the dominant defense.
Why are you smirking?
Are you giving a smirk?
Because he said we're sunshine. I'm the same way.
Well, I mean,
I picked them too.
All right.
I was just saying. I was agreeing.
But I wasn't expecting this kind of dominant defense, and that's what they've gotten. I mean, they're allowing less than 10 points a game, and again, there are a lot of mitigating factors. Mike talked about the Chargers' offensive line. The best offensive player for the Texans didn't play, Nico Collins, and we know Bo Nix didn't play for the Broncos. But it's one thing to get those kinds of breaks. It's another thing to allow 10 points every game. I mean, they've completely shut these teams down.
And to flip it around, you mentioned like the Patriots, what they're saying about Sam Darnold. Well, let me tell you what the Seahawks are saying about the Patriots. I think offensive line-wise, they feel like they might be able to eat. And so if the Patriots are going to win the game, the offensive line is going to have to probably play the best game of its life. 2 rookies, right? We know Will Campbell, Jared Wilson. Did you know that this is the first time in Super Bowl history that a team is going to play with 2 starting rookies on the offensive line?
I did not know.
So that just tells you, I mean, this is different, and they're going to have to play big.
How real do you think Drake May's shoulder? How real do you think the injury was to Drake May's shoulder? I'll start with you, Mike.
I thought it was significant. I watched it after the game. I watched him sitting there, Mike. He was texting with his left hand. He was keeping his right arm sort of held in. And
see, people, I'm going to come back to you.
Yeah.
People think that David Chow, Dr. Chow, got the thing started. It wasn't. It was Mike Reese in the postgame who kind of out of nowhere asked Drake May how he was feeling. And Drake May acknowledged bumps and bruises. I can't remember the answer.
Yeah.
But that's where it started, not with the doctor online, who also happened to be right. But anyway, so you thought he was banged up after that game?
I did, and you saw after the run, right, Paul?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the only reason you ask the question. You see something, and then you follow up with it.
Yep. And
do you think he's healthy now, Mike?
Yeah. Do you think we're out of the woods?
I honestly don't know the answer to that question. I think the weather helps, and from what the people that I've talked to that have been at practice and have seen him practice this week, they say he's looked really good at practice.
And I do think the weather is big for him. I don't think he's enjoyed it. And, some of the things that we all talked about at the end of the season, can they come from behind? They did it against Baltimore. What's he going to be like? Can he be effective in bad weather? Some of those things are still kind of unanswered. And this game, I think that won't be a factor. You're going to probably have 65-degree temperatures, and I don't really think there's any chance of rain at this point. So I think that's the bigger factor, but I agree with Mike. I don't think you're going to know if that shoulder is okay until he takes a hit and maybe lands on it, and then what happens?
Pats win the coin toss. What do they do?
Defer would be my guess.
Me too.
And just for the double score, that purely so is there anything about, do you think any one team is more equipped to play from behind in this game?
I think both teams want to play the same way. The Patriots have been able to do it all year, but Seattle has too. Mike talked about the way they want to play offense with Kenneth Walker running the football. They don't want to have Sam Darnold in those situations. Both of these teams want to play from ahead.
But they're willing. There's just more value in the hairpin turn.
And what is it, Mike? And you rail against it all the time with me. It's the nerds. It's the analytics. I agree with this one because I do think it allows you to get a chance
in extra
consecutive possessions.
Yes.
But
the middle eight.
Yeah, but it's an analytical. And we've had like 3 or 4 different former players came in, and they all talked about the importance of the first 5-6 minutes of the second half of this game. It might determine how the second half unfolds. But it's just, I think it's an analytical decision. You have a chance to get back-to-back possessions.
I want to read you a statistic. The Seahawks are 11-0 when scoring first this season, and they've won 15 straight games when scoring first, going back to week 7 last season.
And they'd still defer?
I know. No, I see what you're getting at.
I think they would, but that's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. The Patriots home team, but they're wearing the whites. Small thing, but how do you feel about that? Can I say that I hate the alternate whites? It's the Super Bowl. You shouldn't be allowed to wear, alternate uniform. You're still selling us crap. It's like, I know the players voted on it, but you shouldn't do City Connect jerseys in the World Series. You know what I mean? It's
it's all white and all blue tomorrow.
Which I hate. It's a color rush game, which I hate.
Yeah. Yuck.
But the Road Warrior thing.
I'm fine with it. I think they're the first team to ever be 9-0 on the road, and I think they have a lot of pride in that. And I think on the biggest stage to show that, I'm fine.
They're embracing it, and it is. I mean, the road thing has been impressive. And I think that's where it really started, was the first one against Miami in a place they never win. And then they follow that up and they go to Buffalo and knock the undefeated Bills off. So that's what they did. They're feeding off of it.
Like, Mike, even we're pretty, like you mentioned, sunshine. Like this, we can acknowledge the schedule wasn't the hardest schedule, right, Paul?
It was just a schedule.
Are we fair?
Yeah, well, do we have to say easy?
Let's just call it a schedule.
But even that, like, I would ask you as someone who might be on the other side of that, even with the schedule what it was, would you agree that 9-0 on the road?
Yeah, very good.
14 wins is...
But 9-0 on the road,
legit, and
just
9-0
to win on the road anywhere,
is legit. I've never said they weren't legit.
Okay.
I felt they've been legit from the start.
Yeah. And, Felger is nothing if not fair and impartial.
No, it's true. It's actually a very balanced show. We have sunshine and darkness. That's what we have. So, look, I just asked Zoe this. Carlton Davis late yesterday, said that we're going to cover Jackson Smith and Jigba with Gonzalez. He's going to follow him around.
I saw that.
Okay, do you think it's legit? Do you think he was bull crapping? And if it is true, what do you think of the plan?
So I would think it's going to be hard to do that 100% of the time, Tony, but I think there'll be times where they do that.
I want to see Gonzo in JSN as much as we can, but it's hard. I've talked to them a couple of different times. Seattle does a great job moving him all over the place, changing formations. They know that he's their top dog, and they're going to make the other team really work at taking him out of the game.
So, and I have a follow-up question to this, because, Mike, this is something you brought up at the beginning of the year. Let's say Gonzalez independent of whether he covers Jackson, but does get Jackson Smith and Jigba for a good chunk of time. And Gonzalez has a monster game. Does that potentially change how the Patriots look at him and how Patriots fans look at him?
So my view of how the Patriots look at him is that he's an elite corner that they're going to pay big money to. So
Okay.
I think, now, I suppose if he really struggles, maybe that could change it, but I think that's their view right now.
So they're already there.
I feel that way. I might be in the minority, but that's what I hear from them. And I couldn't answer the second part. I don't know. How would you say Patriots fans view Gonzalez?
I think Patriots fans think a lot of Gonzalez, but I've sort of been on the fence of how the Patriots feel about him. Mike and I kind of disagree on this a little bit. I wonder if they look at him as that true elite guy. Now, I think he's played like that in the postseason, so maybe that's already started to open Mike Vrabel's eyes a little bit.
I just don't like how they use him.
Yeah.
He's just on the defensive left in a flat in his zone, no matter who's over there. Too often, I don't know, why would you pay a guy like that if you're not going to activate him to, in man-to-man situations against top receivers, which they don't do.
And I look at it like there's going to be plays, Mike, that actually could determine whether you're a Super Bowl champion or not, where you will play him that way, and that alone is worth it. You take that guy away, like now I feel like you're a weaker team, even though you're not using him maybe 100% of the time the way you would want to use him.
Okay, you guys got to go do your Patriots.com stuff?
Yeah, the real stuff.
Okay, the real stuff, exactly.
The award-winning material.
Put your sunglasses on for that show.
We'll hear you tomorrow on Patriots Preview, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Mike Reese, Paul Prill, thanks for coming by,
Thanks,
boys.
guys.
Happy Super Bowl. We'll see you tomorrow.
Mike, thanks.
Quick break.
Thank you, Mike.
We're back. I see you lined up on the call screen, I promise. We'll get to your calls right after these words. Felger and Mazz from San Francisco.
49 was probably the best, I thought, Super Bowl, because we were on our game.
Or we were about to go on the air. The national producer from Westwood One, Howie Deneroff, pulled me aside, and he said, listen, I'm going to give you a piece of advice. Enjoy every second of this. Enjoy every second. For two reasons. One, you might not get back here again. Chances are you won't. And two, it will help you relax.
And hello again, everyone. A very pleasant good evening and welcome to University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, where the grandest stage in American sport is set for Super Bowl 49 between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks.
That second half, again, you talk about goosebump moments.
Two receivers, right, one left. Tom short drop, looks left, throws for Edelman. Touchdown, Patriots! They're back in the lead in Super Bowl 49.
2:02 left when things seem dire. What do you do in life? You go right to people that you can depend on, and it's been all year long. Number 12, number 11, Julian Edelman.
And then the last play, it happens so quick. It's a shotgun snap, and as soon as Wilson gets it, the ball's out. And then it's intercepted. And, it happens, and I call it, and I hope I called it right, but I wasn't sure.
Seattle huddling up, down 4, but on the verge of the lead. Wilson with 33 seconds and counting. Waiting on the snap, Lynch to his left, Baldwin to the left as well. Stack receivers, 2 to the right. Russell Wilson extends the hands he has. Wilson, quick throw. And it's intercepted! Intercepted by Malcolm Butler! Butler has it at the 1!
In the immediate aftermath, I mean, as soon as he intercepted that ball, Jim, Mark Capello, the producer, is up between Zoe and me. And he's hugging me. Zoe is going nuts.
Malcolm Butler stepped in front of the throw!
No way!
And the Patriots have possession with 20 seconds to go in Super Bowl 49 with a 4-point lead over the Seahawks.
So there was a little bit of back and forth between our booth and the Seahawks booth. There was only a window with nothing taped up on the window, so you had a clear view of their booth, they had a clear view of ours.
It's got to be one of the dumbest calls offensively in Super Bowl history. You are on the 1-yard line, and you have number 24, and you drop back pass. Are you kidding me?
And it was day of parade, and Belichick was underneath, and we were filming our last All Access, and he goes, come here, I got something pulled up for you, because I heard your call at the end of the game. You said it was one of the dumbest calls. I'm going to show you why it wasn't a dumb call. He pulled up a play, and he had it up. It was a 3rd down and 1, and they put the same goal line defense out there in a regular field, and that's when Hightower hit him for about a 2-yard loss. He said, so we knew if that same moment ever came again, 3rd and 1, they're going to have to check that pass.
And we sign off, and they're playing the outfield, Josie. When we're about to go down the field, and I said to Mark Capello, I said, Mark, did I get it right? Did I get it right? Did I say Butler? Did I say Butler? He's like, Bob, you got it right. Just enjoy it. Let's go. And we went down to the field and captured some confetti.
49 let them believe that they can do what they did. And what was it? I lose track. 50, 51, 52. Yeah, we've been to so many of them.
Welcome to NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas, and to Super Bowl 51 between the New England Patriots and the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, halftime our booth was almost dead silent. There was a concert going on, but unlike Katy Perry in Arizona, and unlike the next couple of halftime shows that we got to experience, I don't know if any of us were paying attention to it or even hearing it.
And even 28-3, our booth and the amount of communication we have in game, turning the mics off, talking to Capello, talking to Dennis. You guys were in the booth. Jim Louse there, and he's like a sponge. And as they're coming back, people are writing the point totals down.
Brady takes the snap, backpedals, fires left, catch made by White, turns to the inside, dives across the goal line. Touchdown, Patriots!
There's one. That game felt more out of body because they're coming back, and you're like, they're not going to come back, but they are coming back.
Direct snap to James White, runs up the middle, he's in for 2! Brady faking as if a high snap, but the ball directly fed to White, and he pushes his way forward. It's a 1-score game.
There's an old cliche, like you never know what you're going to experience when you walk into a ballpark or a stadium, or you might see something today you've never seen before.
From the near hash of the 36, shotgun snap to Brady. Stands in, throws down the middle for Edelman. Ball's tipped, and Julian diving for it. As Olford cut in front of the receiver, Edelman has it. Did he make the catch? He did!
You gotta be
at
kidding
the 40.
You know, there was still a seed of doubt. But once they got the game tied, and then, of course, after the coin flip, there's no doubt whatsoever they're going to come down and win this game.
Second and goal to go from the 2. Toss sweep right for James White. Cuts it under the right arm. Cuts it upfield. Driving forward. Diving to the goal line. A touchdown. And a title for the Patriots.
I can't believe it.
They have completed the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history. Led by the greatest quarterback.
Look at Brady.
In Super Bowl and NFL annals.
One more ring.
James White.
You're overwhelmed because they came back from 28-3 down. But 49 I thought was more special because that got the run going.
Tom Brady, about to be a 6-time champion, takes the snap, drops to the knee, and the Patriots have won their 6th Super Bowl title. In the early 2000s, they won 3 of 4. Now they have won 3 of the last 5. Yes, it's still a dynasty.
It's Felger and Mazz live from Underdogs Cantina in San Francisco with one final pregame warm-up before Sunday's big kickoff. Brought to you by Coors Light. When the big game heats up, cool down with ice-cold Coors Light. Now, Mike and Tony.
All right, welcome back to the program. Felger and Mazz special Saturday night Super Bowl weekend edition of Felger and Mazz here from Underdogs Cantina in San Francisco. And that was a great retrospective there from Zoe and Sosi on the past 15 years and all the championships, and here they are again.
Unbelievable.
And we're getting you game ready. Of course, we got you covered all day tomorrow. Patriots pre and post and the game. Sosi and Zoe live from Levi Stadium. 6:30 kick Eastern time?
I think that is right. Yep, 6:30 kickoff. So, you know, the nice thing out here, if you're a fan, is that the game's over at, 7:30. I mean, the Super Bowl is obviously a longer endeavor with the halftime show and everything else. But, you get done at a reasonable time, still have some time to have a good night, and hopefully it's a celebratory one for Patriots fans.
Okay, back to your phones here as promised. Again, Jeff, I can't cue these up here for some reason from where I'm at. Let's go to Danny and Quincy on line 4. Hi, Danny.
Here we go. You're going to give Belichick credit, Danny?
Hey, speaking of Belichick, you brought it up, Tony. I just watched the replay of the first one against the Rams. What a massive, unbelievable, tremendous defensive game that was. Madden was saying it the whole game. They held the Rams to 3 points up until about 4 or 5 minutes to go in the game. So it was just amazing. Amazing. And the hits they were putting on Warner, Smith, all the players Belichick added to Parcells. He added about 12 players, which never gets... I didn't even call for that, but you brought it up, Tony. But anyway...
Okay, but what'd you call for?
So good to watch. Anyway, okay, on the defensive side, Gonzalez's payday is coming, because if he can't go man-to-man, they're not going to be able to take advantage of blitzing a statuesque quarterback, which they absolutely have to do, and take advantage of it. Because rushing 4, I don't know if they can get there with 4. But anyway, on the offensive side, why do I get the feeling that I'm going to be criticizing Josh McDaniels for his play calling? But his inability, in my opinion, because the receivers haven't been able to get open in these 3 playoff games. It's like laborious, it's work, it's like perfect throws, miraculous catches have to be done. But he doesn't scheme receivers open, which your bearded boyfriend, tight pants bearded boyfriend in L.A., when he lines up 3 on one side and 1 on the other, he's able to take defenders away from certain spots and scheme open receivers like a Nakua. I don't think McDaniels is capable of doing it.
Okay, Danny, I'm going to stop you. Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. Thank you for the call.
No, I don't agree with him.
I don't agree with him either.
No, again, Demario Douglas earlier in the year, for example, you telling me he wasn't schemed open? Right. He was schemed open multiple times.
Absolutely.
So, but I think the problem is that in order to get schemed open sometimes, you do have to have some ability to either, to run a route and get a defender turning the other way or to outrun him to a spot. And I don't know how many guys this Seattle secondary is really athletic. So they cover a lot of space. I would say the defense overall, they're not Houston, but they're fast and they cover a lot of ground.
John is in Westford. John, are you up? Can you, Jeff? Thank you. John in Westford. Go ahead, John.
How you doing?
Good, John. Go ahead.
Question?
Yes.
I wanted to know for the different formations, why they don't go to the shotgun sometimes?
I think they're in the shotgun plenty. But they're actually in shotgun less than most teams, and I like that. I hate the shotgun. You know how I feel about this.
I mean, most teams now are in shotgun more than half the time.
That is correct.
Including the Patriots.
I think they're more than 50% too,
yeah,
yes.
I think the teams that are typically under center the most, I think, are in like the 47% area, something like that. So everybody's in the shotgun more than half the time, which is insane.
I think they've actually done a decent job of being balanced in terms of that. I think it's helped Drake May's progression. I think it's hard to develop as an NFL quarterback if you're in shotgun all the time like you are in college. The NFL game should be played under center. And I think they have, forced him, put it in air quotes, or, worked with him to get under center more than most young quarterbacks. I think that's helped him. I think it's a good thing that they've done. Jimmy's in Malden on line 6. Jeff, you could pop him up. Hi, Jimmy.
Hey, I'll tell you, the Patriots are going to leave San Francisco in seventh heaven after we're going to feast on barbecued Seahawks. I predict 27-23 Patriots. Super Bowl winning
27-23.
Baby.
Okay, you guys got all that? Jimmy and Malden has 27-23. Save your predictions. We don't need to hear your predictions.
No, and that sounds like a real barbecue, doesn't it? 4 points? Oh, yeah, they're going to feast on them. They're going to win by 4. So, look, I think everybody's hoping for a competitive game. I'd like to see a good game. I always want to see a good game. But, these two teams should be able to take it into the fourth quarter, and then we'll see what happens there. I would love to see that.
617-779-0985 is your number. Don is in Carver on line 7. Hi, Don.
The horse was out of the barn, Tom Brady, before your mayor cultures last night. You are who Mazz said you are, plastic man. And as far as the Patriots winning tomorrow, someone on that team is going to go for a 40-yard TD, and they're going to win it, the Patriots. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Big plays? Who's more liable to break a big play? It feels to me it might be Seattle.
Yeah, because of Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Shaheed.
Yeah, and Shaheed, right, excellent point. Who is,
he's a home run hitter.
Yeah, and his special teams as a returner, he's outstanding. So, Marcus Jones, I think you could look at on the other side. Travion Henderson is an easy one. Booty is a guy they've thrown to deep all year. I don't know if Booty has some of the raw speed that some of the other guys who could break plays in this game. I mean, Travion Henderson's had a poor postseason. And, Mike, I don't remember, was it last game or the Houston game where he played 4 snaps?
Yeah, maybe it was the last one.
Okay, so, part of me wonders whether we've all slept on him a little bit because of that. Because he is the kind of guy that if he gets 10 touches, that might be enough for him to have one play of, call it 20-plus. So he's an easy guy to sort of look at. And I do think the Seattle defense being so aggressive is potentially susceptible to big plays, having either over-pursuing or getting a little too aggressive.
Let's grab one more. Christian in Fall River on the Seahawks and Sam Darnold. Hi, Christian.
Boy, you guys lucky to be in San Fran. It is freezing out here, I'm telling you. But how great is it to have the Pats Nation back at the Super Bowl? Right?
It feels normal.
Yeah, but anyway, I just wanted to say that I've been watching a lot of Seattle this year, and all they want to do is run the ball. And I think the Patriots can shut them down, and in doing so, Donald is going to turn into a pumpkin. Mark my words. Donald is going to go.
Yeah.
Christian, we've marked him.
Yeah, Donald will be a pumpkin.
Seattle's going to want to run.
Of course.
And I don't think they're going to be able to run.
No, I don't think they're going to be able to run either. I think people are underselling Darnold a little bit. So this whole idea that, he wants to stay in the tackle box and he doesn't. Okay, but he's not. Someone called him statuesque or stationary. I don't know that that's fair. He's not as mobile as May is, and I think May's clearly faster when he gets out into the open field or into space. But I wouldn't call Darnold unathletic. He's not a stiff. So he's a pretty athletic guy, all things considered. He will move a little bit. And look, maybe part of the way that Seattle gets him away from an interior pass rush is to get him on the move. Maybe Kubiak gets him moving, and May is moving to the right away from the pressure on his left side. Like, I would look for a lot of that in this game. If the quarterbacks are just sitting ducks back there, that's on the offensive coordinators, if you ask me. Get them moving.
More of your calls coming up at 617-779-0985. We'll also hear from Shaughnessy. Danny is hanging around here. We'll talk to him and you.
Big cheer for Shaughnessy.
Do they realize it's Dan Shaughnessy of the Boston Globe?
No, but they will.
Okay, here comes Shaughnessy right after this. Felger and Mazz from San Francisco.
Felger and Mazz.
She cares, you know? He doesn't give a shit.
Well, welcome back to the program, everybody. Don't know if you caught that, but that was Dan Shaughnessy. We'll have to tell you at a later time what he was talking about and who he was talking about.
Oh, he bleeped out right out of the gate.
Okay. Shaughnessy of the Boston Globe joining us here from Underdogs Cantina in San Francisco. Super Bowl weekend. Danny, how you doing?
This is a gift. We're here. I never thought we'd be here again.
Right?
And we're here. It's like just
amazing.
Unbelievable to me that we're here.
You have a run, you have a dynasty, and then you go down, and you got to wait another generation to do it again. And here they are. Is it kind of annoying? Be honest. Is it kind of annoying?
No, and I know I kind of lean that way traditionally, but I'm telling you, this is a gift, and I do. I was looking up the Yankees and the Canadians and the Celtics and what the gaps would be during that thing. And this is in this sport. This is really significant. It's really hard to do, and here they are. I can't believe it.
Who do you give the credit to?
Well, I mean...
Can I start with one thing?
What the coach I'm giving the most credit to, and the quarterback. Coach and the quarterback.
And they were lucky. As most teams have to be.
Fortunate sons. I mean, the schedule, you know that.
But it's not just that. They bottomed out, and they bottomed out in a year where there were good quarterbacks. And they got one. They could have bottomed out last year, be sitting here with Cam Ward. They could have bottomed out 3 years ago and been there with, whatever. You could have bottomed out 5 years ago and been Trevor Lawrence and, not have the guy.
Yeah.
And so I think it starts with that, but Vrabel was obviously the right hire. And so do we say ownership, Danny?
Not really. I'm grudging on that. I mean, first of all, he did a great thing by doing the right thing, and we wrote it the day of the last game of the last season. They need to fire the coach, and he did. That's a hard pill to swallow, but he did it, and it's admitting a mistake, but it's also getting back to the business of winning. And they did it immediately, and I thought that. So he admitted his mistake, he did it, and so we applaud that. That's a good thing. But the mistake is still the mistake, and the wasted year, etc. But they didn't stand by, they didn't get stubborn, and I thought that takes a lot for a lot of guys. He did it.
Are you with everybody else in believing that this is now the beginning of a long window?
I hope so. I mean, I think for the New England fans, it's a possibility, but you know how hard this league is, and the schedule next year, they're going to lose.
It's going to be hard.
They're going to lose a bunch of games next year. It doesn't make them bad, but so yeah, it's not going to be like this again with the schedule. But it's just been, it's hard to believe that this has happened the way it's happened, and you still have the, you've got the guys getting hurt on the other team kind of thing. Nico Collins and then Stidham, that whole thing.
Yes, it's all coming up.
Now the defensive back for Seattle, if that comes to play tomorrow, because he's so important. So yeah, I mean, but hey, all due credit, they get it, and it's one of the great narratives. I know you like the '67 Red Sox, Mike, and I
love it.
This is
they did lose the World Series, you know.
This is
when I tell you that, you usually say that's irrelevant.
Yeah. So this is encroaching on that territory in terms of what the young people of today will remember. I think it's a very magical season.
Well, so that's why I'm going to ask you. Like, do you feel that this iteration of the Patriots Super Bowl thing is different than what we experienced for 20 years? Or is it right back? Is it the same thing or it's right back?
Well, it's like the 01 season, let's face it. I mean, there's a lot of parallels with the 01. That team had better defenders on the other side of the ball, some Hall of Fame guys like that.
I push back on that.
You don't think this team?
They've been favored each of the last 3 weeks. In 01, they were 10-point underdogs in Pittsburgh and 14.5-point underdogs in Seattle. They've been favored each of these 3 weeks, and yes, they're underdogs in this one, but only 4.5. I mean, that team was truly out of nowhere.
Truly out of nowhere, and they had never won. So now you've got 6 Super Bowls, and here you are back. So they have a history of it. But it just reminds me of that season because of the youth and they were 5-11 the year before they won the Super Bowl. This year they're 4-13 the year before. So just that kind of thing. And the quarterback was in his second year, who 26 years ago, whatever. He was in his second year. He didn't do a lot in those games. I mean, he had a great drive in the second half of the Super Bowl, but I looked him up today. It was like 146 yards, whatever. Yeah. QB rating was 82. I guess that's pretty good.
Yeah, right.
But he was a game manager totally. And this guy tomorrow, he's due for a good game. I think, he could do something.
Dan Shaughnessy joining us here from the Boston Globe. Where do you stand on Kraft and Belichick being denied entrance to the Hall of Fame?
Well, I mean, the Belichick thing was stunning to me, and they need to, it's embarrassing to the Hall of Fame not to Bill Belichick, because Bill did a smart thing by saying nothing, continues to sit there and have all the praise come your way.
Do you think he really said nothing?
Well,
how do you think we knew a week before?
I'm sure he called and said, "Hey, you're not going to believe this," and sure, he dined it out. But publicly, he has said nothing, and that's a good play, because all of a sudden, after a clown show year and being a punchline,
he got some sympathy for this for sure.
Definitely.
Big time. Everybody came to his, even the haters, they all came to his defense. So
that's right.
It's a good play to just let everybody do it for you. And he has had that. He is. His stock has gone, not enough to get any job offers, but it was too late for that. But definitely, overall, in the scheme of things, they're going to change the rules of that voting now because of that. It's so obvious. The owner thing, it still comes down to it's weird that Jones is in and he's not. That's not fair. So and we know that DiBartolo. This guy's Bob Kraft clearly, but there's also a thing like why have owners at all? Come on, get out of here.
I'm with you on that. My thing is. Yeah, look, they should be in. If I were a voter, I would feel compelled to vote for them because they give you rules, and I would want to do my job.
Yeah.
Okay, and not go outside the rules of the process. So I would vote for them. But on a human level, I was okay with it, Dan, because of the way they carried themselves. I think Bill being made to wait a year just as some penance. For not just
you're one of the petty retribution guys.
No. It's the cheating.
Would you have voted for him?
I would, like I just said, I would have felt compelled to because there's no morals clause like there is in baseball.
OJ.
Right. They don't instruct you. They don't do that. They don't instruct.
Ray Lewis. The Killers are all in the Hall of Fame. They don't care.
Right. Exactly. So I would. Yeah. But it's kind of what goes around comes around.
Oh yeah. Well, there was a lot of that. No question. And I talked to people who were in.
And I'm not talking about him being a dick to the media. I'm talking about the way he thumbed his nose at the league.
Covering the microphones
for
and all
25 years, Dan. For 25 years, he told the league to go F itself.
Yes, yeah.
And so the first time out, if the sport turns around and says, you know what, we're just going to make you wait for a second. That kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And the Crafts as well. Is it arrogance there? Anyone who authors the Wells Report in context might deserve to wait a little extra second there before you get your recognition.
Still on the site, I'm told.
It's still there.
Thank you very much.
Unbelievable.
Come on.
So this is what I'm talking. Okay, but I think now the football gods have made their point, or the Hall of Fame has made its point. They should both be in next year and enough. Got it. Okay. They paid their price and now let them in.
Well, you hope so, because Tom Brady's a year after that, so you don't want to wait a year on him. Have them all.
Did any part of you think it would look bad if after Bill got snubbed that Kraft got?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
why?
Then people would have thought that Bob was sandbagging the 50 voters and all that, which is not true. Bob he doesn't have that kind of clout. It's 50 independent guys, but that was going to be a narrative that Bob, aced him out, blocked him, etc. They blocked each other out ultimately, and Roger Craig's in the Hall of Fame. But those voters, they like to vote for players. Those players, last chance saloon for those guys, 25 years out, they get one shot at that point. Roger Craig, and he got in. The other two, I bet, were close as Belichick and Kraft.
Thoughts on Brady saying he has no dog in the fight of this game?
Come on, I know we got the, what's his name, the assistant.
Kubiak.
Who cares? Tom, really, he's just so cautious. Come on, be better.
Plastic is the word you're looking for.
Yeah, you got a statue. You set him a Patriot for life. No one's going to buy that. It's unnecessary, really. Don't think it that hard. Just say, I want the Pats. It's my guys. Do that, and everybody moves on.
Okay. Sox going to be all right this year?
I'm going there on Tuesday or Wednesday, and I'm not optimistic. It's just been an annoying off season. They didn't get Plan A, and then plans B, C, D, and E. It's all like dumpster dives, and how's the guy's Ian Kinsler, Fafalo?
Oh yeah, kind of Falefa.
The guy that couldn't find home plate in the playoffs there.
No, he's a good utility guy.
Yeah, they got a million of them. David Hamilton. It's just going to be that's just annoying to me. And they tell. I still go back to the Devers thing. They got applauded for a salary dump, and that always bothered me.
Hey, listen. The Celtics now are getting roundly applauded for getting under the luxury tax.
Oh yeah,
the cheerleading among the fans and the media.
Yeah.
Cheerleading an owner saving money to me is just, Dan.
It's always.
I complain
are you a
about
stockholder? Are you a dividend guy?
I complain about, and there's no one to call it out.
Why wouldn't you want your team to spend it more than possible every dollar?
Not one person that I've read. If someone has, please bring it to my attention out there. I've not read one Celtics writer or reporter express any sort of criticism or cynicism about what they did at the deadline getting under the tax. It is all uniform support. Even Washburn, it felt to me.
There's a notion that it will make them competitively better because they can do things.
Yeah, because the owner wasn't willing to spend at a high level.
Right.
So, but the cheerleading of it, we'll leave it on this.
That's the worst part.
Our thing is going bye-bye. If not completely gone.
My ship sailed already.
But the sports writer that
About
is
10
there
years ago, actually.
to challenge, provoke,
Oh, I know.
It's gone.
Nobody wants any trouble.
No one wants any trouble.
No.
No one wants to be the bad guy with the teams. No one wants to be the bad guy with the fans in their Twitter feed.
No.
And so no one challenges anything. And Danny, it just pissed. Where are the a-hole sports writers? Every town should have one or two guys.
Well,
and we have no one left.
I'll step up. Try not voting for David Ortiz for the Hall of Fame. See how that goes. It burned down your house.
Yeah.
And it's just like, not fun. But that's the way it goes.
Speaking of which, do you know who has, to whom John Henry has given the longest term contract? You.
I'll take it.
Danny, thanks for coming by.
Thank you, guys.
Dan
Appreciate
Shaughnessy, Boston Globe. David Andrews, Super Bowl champion David Andrews, joins us next year from San Francisco. Don't go anywhere.
they are, your weekend warriors, Felger and Mazz.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Both back in Boston on 98.5 The Sports Hub and our YouTube channel, and here in San Francisco at Underdogs Cantina. Super Bowl champion David Andrews joining us here on set. How many rings do you got? I should know that number.
2.
You got 2.
2.
And you
should have 3.
And you should have 3.
But we're not going to talk about
the Eagles game. We're not going to talk about. Okay. 2-time Super Bowl champion David Andrews.
I just have one question from that Eagles.
I can't wait.
I'm kidding. I'm not going to ask you. I'm not going to ask you.
I do this every week with Zoe and Beetle, and we'll be talking about the most random thing, and Beetle will just be like, so in 17, and I'm like, we were talking about this week's game, you know?
Well, so let me ask you this, so it really has nothing to do with the game other than we would tell you that there's one question we get more frequently from every Patriots fan that we still don't have an answer to. Do you get the same question and you know what it is?
It's the greatest mystery. Of all the mysteries in this country, that's got to be top 10. That's a Mazz's tier. Mysteries in this country.
Yeah, right, okay. That'll work for sure.
That's mysteries in this country. Maybe like a,
That's the number one question we get.
I'm sure. It's what do you think I get?
I know. Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. And I had no idea. And truthfully, no idea. I remember sitting on the sideline being like, oh, Malcolm's out. But just think, defensive backs, packages, whatever,
Yeah.
And when we were playing, I've seen this team's a lot different. They'll watch the game. Like, Vrabel's big on that. Get the guys up on the bench. That was not the case with Bill. It was business, and it was definitely not the case with Dante. You were sitting there and you were getting yourself coached until it was time to go.
Really? You're not watching the game?
No, if Dante caught you looking at the scoreboard, bad news.
Really?
Bad.
You can't even watch the scoreboard?
No, you never. Something would happen and you'd kind of like be like, remind me of like my 4-year-old like trying to like peek and look. I'm like, but yeah. So I remember seeing that, but not really realizing because, like I said, I had no idea what was really going on in the game. And lo and behold, it was kind of like one of those ones the next day you open Twitter and you're kind of like, what in the world?
Someday, on someone's deathbed, it will come out. Dave Andrews, have you taken a look yet at the Seattle offensive line? Have you done some scouting there? There's supposed to be some weak links in the middle of that line.
Yeah, there's definitely some weak links in the middle, and I think for me, watching these guys, look, there's been a lot been said about the defense, right? And toward the end of the year, it was kind of this big question mark, the defense. And you hate to go the excuses route of, all right, well, Milton Williams not in, Tonga's not in, Spillane's not in, but they weren't. And that's just the truth in football. Now they're back. This defense has played unbelievable in this postseason run. I mean, that's the reason why they've been in games is this defense. And so going in, we'll see what kind of Spillane does. Hopefully it's not like Denver where he's out there and then it, kind of tweaks this thing. These ankles are tough, man, for these guys. And so hopefully he's out there. And if you can stop, in my mind, Kenneth Walker, and you can control Kenneth Walker and then make Sam Darnold beat you, that's what I want to see. And it's one of those things that, look, there's no moral victory, but if you make Sam Darnold beat you and he goes out there and has the game of your life, then it's kind of like, to me, it's like, eventually it's same thing with Philly, right? What's his name?
Foles.
Nick Foles goes out there and does what he does. It's one of those things that where our quarterback threw for 505 yards that game. It's a record. It's like sometimes you just got to tip the cap.
So you don't second guess it, is what you're saying. If it ends up being Darnold, then you take Walker out.
You put the ball in Darnold's hands, and if he's good, okay, you can kind of live with that, I guess.
And I'm sure they're probably saying the same thing about our quarterback. I mean, that's the reality. And most of the times I would say playing Josh Allen. My thing, if you're playing Josh Allen, the key to Josh Allen, you got to stop Cook. When Cook goes off, Josh Allen's dynamic. It's hard to stop. You got to try to limit what people can do, and it's a very elementary way of thinking about it, but we get so wrapped up in all these things you got to do. Well, in reality, there's one or two things you got to do to win the football game. You can make all these different things, different cases. It's one or two things, and that's what it's always going to be.
So stop Walker, put the ball in Darnold's hands. Simple as that.
That's what I would do. And then, the caveat to that is now they got a guy on the outside you got to take care of. And, how they go about that. I think Carlton Davis said
he said Gonzalez is going to follow him.
Which that's not how we would attack the game. We were always put number 2 on that kind of guy with safety help, and then you would put your best corner on their best guy, either Cooper Kupp or whoever you want to say. And that's why you're like, all right, well, that guy's now eliminated because he's not as good as the number 1. And now the number one has help over the top with the safety. So, look, I believe whatever they want to do, that's what these coaches think. I think Zach Corr's done an amazing job this year to get thrust into this role, no experience doing it, and I think he's just gotten better and better, and the guys have gotten better and better.
Are there any key areas that you look at in this game? Like, you said put the ball in Darnold's hands, but does that start on the interior of the defensive line or, blitzing or, any sort of key matchup you look at on either side?
Well, I think, one, you got to look at the Patriots' offensive line to start with, right? This playoff, everyone's, what do you think about the offense? To me, this trying to analyze this Patriots offense, this playoff run, has been brutally hard. Because the Houston game, if they don't turn the ball over 5 times, you're sitting there like, wow, you put up 21 points against the best defense in football. They gave up 15.9 points a game. You're like, wow, that's a pretty good performance. And he made some great throws and great plays in kind of a crappy weather game. Then you go to Denver, right? The Denver game, the first half was not great. The weather was fine. And then the second half is a wash. You do what you have to do to win the football game. That's where having Josh and Mike to understand that, like, hey, it doesn't matter. As long as the scoreboard says us, it doesn't matter what anyone else does. So it's kind of hard to, I'm trying to figure out, what is this Patriots offense? Has it been weather? Has it been all this? Or are they ready to go? Which I think they're going to be ready to go. Josh is unbelievable. There's a reason Josh McDaniels got that award this weekend. He is an unbelievable offensive coordinator. To me, that is the Vrabel has so much to do with it, but having Josh McDaniels for this quarterback, who knows what Josh will do. I hope he never leaves again, because I think this is the best place for him, the best role for him. But now Drake at least has some type of foundation to build off of the rest of his hopefully 20-year career. But really for the Patriots, I do think they're going to have to score some points this weekend. I don't think this is going to be the 13-3 Rams Super Bowl from 18. Now, going into that game, we didn't think that was that game. We thought we were going to have to score points, right? That was the Rams year where that offense was so dynamic. The Kansas City Rams game, remember that was 45-45
yes,
or whatever
right,
it was,
right.
a shootout. We kind of thought hey, it's going to be just like Kansas City, whoever has the ball last in overtime, touchdown, whatever it is, and then it gets into the game, kind of declares, and then it's being able, once the game declares, to become a chameleon and adapt and adjust. And I think these coaches, Josh has a great ability to do that, and Mike, I think, understands that well.
Dave Andrews joining us here from San Francisco. Is the left side of the Patriots offensive line susceptible?
Yes. You have to worry about it. Look, Seattle does a lot of great things. It's one of these fronts where it's not Will Anderson and
Danielle Hunter.
It's not these two guys, and it's just let them go. This is a different defensive line. They got a lot of really good guys. They run a lot of stunts. So that, to me, becomes hard. Blocking stunts as an offensive lineman is the hardest thing you'll have to do. If you're the Seattle Seahawks, and I'm looking at this Patriots offensive line, I think we could all agree.
They're just showing the Malcolm Butler interception for the 8th time today. Go ahead.
I think we can all agree if you were going to attack the Patriots offensive line, it's going to be on the left side.
Yes, sir.
And I know that's your favorite player probably on the team.
Listen.
So
I believe in Will Campbell as a guard.
You and Bedard. Deal with him, too. No, but look, this is my thing with Will. Whatever has happened has happened. The only thing you can control is what's coming up this week. And when I look at Will, I think he's done a great job this year. There's been times, look, it's hard. I'm so thankful I was undrafted and no one gave a damn about me, because no one cared. And so, but for him, all the spotlight's on him. And I think for him right now, just focus on what you need to do. And look, this is what being a rookie is in the NFL. It's ugly. It's messy. It is ups and downs, and you just got to try to find ways to prepare. This offseason is going to be so huge for him and Wilson, and I'll be interested to see what they do with Wilson if he moves into center at some point, in his young career. So it'll be interesting to see.
David, and I'm sorry, your timeline just escapes me a little bit, so help me. You started as a rookie.
I did.
Okay. Was that a Super Bowl year? What year was that?
No, that was 15. We lost to Denver in the AFC Championship.
Okay, and then 16 you went into your second-year player. What was it like your first Super Bowl? And tell me and the audience the difference between this game and these 2 weeks versus any other.
Well, one, it is the most chaotic thing you'll ever do, right? Once you get into the season, right, you're having people come visit you, but you're in an easy routine. You're at home, you're in your own home. It's easy to get tickets. It's easy. So usually what we would do as an organization, you play the AFC Championship game. That Monday you have a Super Bowl meeting, which one thing about this organization is they know how to handle Super Bowls. They've been to a lot of them. They got it down pat. You get that. First thing you got to do is square away everyone's logistics. Who's coming? Who's getting hotel rooms? All of that. That's number one. And I always found as much as you can get done here or here
at home,
at home in Massachusetts that week, like the game plan, all that stuff. They did a different approach. We would have practiced on Wednesday. We would have practiced Thursday and Friday. I know that I don't think they started till Thursday.
Yes, right.
So that was a different thing. They also practiced Monday out here, which I kind of like. Get the guys out, get them moving a little bit. We never did that. We would do like a run and lift, that kind of thing, but we never actually physically practiced out here.
Until Wednesday,
like a normal practice week. But once you get out here, the first part of the week to me is the best part as a player, right? Everyone now, that's the one thing you learn coming from college where practice is over and everyone goes and hangs out and finds wing night and dollar beer night. Well, guys have families and they're married and they're going home to be dads and husbands, and you're as a 22-year-old kid like, well, what we're not doing anything tonight, you know? They're like, no, we spent the last 12 hours together. I don't care to see you anymore. So, you were learning that. But then when you get these moments where it's just you and the guys and get to be together and kind of all the Super Bowl hype and everything else is, sure, you guys have been here in Meteor Row, but it's not, I'm sure you guys seen as the week gone on how obviously bigger and bigger it gets. So those first few days together are unbelievable as a team. And then Thursday night, your family gets in, and that's always awesome. The team has a welcome party. But the game is such an interesting game. And Bill used to say a lot of things, and I remember the first Super Bowl, him being like, look, it's not one game. And I'm like, Bill, it's one game. It's Super Bowl. It's the game. That's it. He said there's a first half game and a second half game. And I think if you guys kept up with it, Vrabel had the
took them off for halftime, yeah. So I'm sorry to say they had a practice on Friday where Vrabel stopped it an hour in and sent them all off the field, I think to the locker room. Yeah. And even played Bad Bunny on the speakers outside in the stadium because that's who's going to be playing, and then brought him back out for the second half of practice.
It's a long halftime. Look, we had guys taking off pads, everything. I mean, it's 30 minutes. It's a very weird game. And also, it's the most emotional, draining. I mean, I can remember standing out there listening to that national anthem. I think it was Nick Sirianni a few years ago crying. Yeah. Like, those emotions are real because it's all that coming to you. You can't, shoot your wad too early. You got to stay. You go out there in warm-ups and you blow it out. Well, in the middle of the second half, you're dead. So it's understanding all those emotions. It's great to feel them. You need to feel them. That's what it's about. But also you got to maintain that, and you got to kind of stay at this thing. You don't need to do anything special. Whatever you've done to get here, you just do that for another 60 minutes, and you'll be a world champion. So
did you feel the second time around was easier for you?
Yes, 100%. And I think I look at my career sometimes. I didn't take in this moment as a player. I think about that Houston Super Bowl. It was so just. I was so trying to focus on the moment, which, look, would I rather have done X, Y, and Z and not been a Super Bowl champ? Hell no. But, sometimes you just got to smell the roses a little bit and realize what you've done. And hopefully guys have done that, because I think for me, looking back in 2018, I never thought that would be the last Super Bowl I played in, and I never thought I'd only get to play in one more postseason game throughout my career. And so it's a fleeting thing. That's the thing. To me, there's no moral victories. We always just say 31 crash landings. No matter what. If you lose tonight or tomorrow and you're sitting at home, it doesn't feel any different in my mind. You don't walk out of that stadium feeling like, well, at least we got here, So it's 31 crash landings. There's only one team that's going to pull this ship up tomorrow night.
All right. Who do you like and why?
I mean, look, I've been riding the Patriots since 1st of October, late September. Said buy your tickets, and I never thought that, but here we are. I just thought there's something special about watching this team. They just seem like there's something different to them. Are they the most talented? No. Are they? They have all the superstars. Well, now they do with the quarterback. I mean, you finish second in the MVP, you're a superstar, but. There was something about watching them, man, and they seem selfless. They seem like they cared for each other, and that stuff will take you a long way. It only takes you so far. You got to execute at the end of the day. But I like the Pats. I think it's going to be something I like to see a Borregales field goal. I know that's your guy, too.
Yeah, well, listen.
Get him a game ball?
It's going to be outside. It's going to be under 60 degrees. Might be raining.
I hate kickers. I hate punters worse, but I hate kickers.
Punters have the best job. Yeah, I mean, punters, they got the best job, in my opinion.
Don't get touched.
No.
No points are on the line.
No.
If you screw up, it's just field position.
Yeah.
You know.
Punter's the best job. I should have been a punter.
David, thanks for coming by. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Good to have you on the show, finally.
David Andrews, you'll hear David Andrews tomorrow on 98.5 The Sports Hub and NBC Sports Boston. We're back right after this.
From the Town Fair Times This from San Francisco. Brought to you by Coors Light. When the big game heats up, cool down with ice-cold Coors Light. Now, Felger and Mazz.
Welcome to University of Phoenix Stadium, where the grandest stage in American sport is set for Super Bowl 49 between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. And Super Bowl 49 is underway with the kick sailing left to right. Tom throws to the end zone, left side, the ball's intercepted. Picked off by Lane.
I cannot tell you, however you felt in Indianapolis prior to that half, this one was worse.
A lot of mental toughness. Our team's had it all year, and we never doubted each other.
Brady, quick throw, underneath, touchdown Patriots! He finds LaFell on the flat! And New England strikes first in Super Bowl 49. Second down snap to Brady, drops back. He lobs it to the right side for Gronkowski. Has a step, has a touchdown! Patriots!
And the spike!
Seattle with 6 seconds to go, the ball down on the 10. A shotgun snap and a throw to the left side. Leaping grab by Matthews, brings it down, touchdown, Seattle. Made the catch in front of Logan Ryan.
Wow. Gutsy call by Pete Carroll.
A play fake by Russell Wilson. Stands in, lobs the throw deep down the left side. That ball is going to be caught! Twisting catch again by Matthews.
You're looking at Matthews as the MVP of this football game right now, and you got to get Cal Harrington off.
Shotgun snap to Brady. Pass is going to be intercepted.
Force that one to Gronkowski. Well, you got to be careful here, man. This is where that game can turn.
Russell Wilson sets up in the end zone. Lobs one. Wide open receiver. Falling for a touchdown for Seattle.
We saw Richard Sherman going 24. Here's what he was saying. Drell Revis, 24, just got beat.
Bill Belichick talking to Josh McDaniels and Tom Brady.
That's the first time I've ever seen him go over and get on a knee and talk to his quarterback and his offensive coordinator.
Shotgun snap to Tom. Play fake to punt. Shuffles left. Fires back to the end zone. Touchdown New England! Danny Amendola!
He got life.
Tom short drop. Looks left. Throws for Edelman. Touchdown! Patriots! They're back in the lead in Super Bowl 49!
2:02 left when things seem dire. What do you do in life? You go right to people that you can depend on, and it's been all year long. Number 12, number 11.
When Trent Dilfer say that the Patriots are the worst team, they can't win, you know, it's unbelievable to hear that man say that. It's embarrassing for him.
Wilson at a 1st and 10, fires down the right side. He's got Kirsch, and the ball is knocked incomplete. Good play again by Malcolm Butler. Where did Kirsch catch it? He caught it on the carom. Unreal.
It's like shades of David Tyree.
It was surreal that even happened. I was like, man, they got like about a minute left, and they just made like a 50-yard bomb.
Russell Wilson extends the hands he has. Wilson, quick throw. And it's intercepted. Intercepted by Malcolm Butler. Butler has it at the 1. Malcolm Butler stepping in front of the throw.
When the stack receivers came out, I knew one was coming up, the other was coming over. It was clutch time. I knew we needed it, so I just went on and made the play.
And the Patriots have possession with 20 seconds to go in Super Bowl 49 with a 4-point lead over the Seahawks.
We got a good football team, and these guys fight you for 60 minutes. I'm so proud of all these players. I love these guys.
Stork snaps it to Brady, who takes the knee. And the New England Patriots are on to a celebration. A 4th Lombardi trophy is headed to one Patriot place.
I mean, we just won the Super Bowl. We got critics now. I don't know what to say.
Pats Nation, baby! Woo!
You're going home to people who are just buried in snow, but you're going to have a parade. Anything to say to them back there?
Dig out, because we're coming.
Welcome back to the program, everybody. Felger and Maserati, Underdogs Cantina, San Francisco, California. Saturday night, Super Bowl weekend. Patriots getting ready for Super Bowl 60 tomorrow against the Seattle Seahawks, which obviously you'll have full day coverage here on the home of the Patriots, 98.5, the Sports Hub. We'll get back to your calls here. Maz, you have a thought?
Just quickly, the idea that the game is gravy, I understand that, okay? Like, season's been a huge success. You have the chance to win a championship, and no matter what happens, the future looks bright. In the same respect, though, if you're Drake May, do you want to start your career winning a Super Bowl or losing the Super Bowl?
Have you seen these lists? And I'll try and look it up. The track record of young quarterbacks who lose their first Super Bowl?
I've heard of this before, so I don't have it handy. Maybe you do.
I'm going to try and look it up.
Okay, but
the number of guys that come back and either win it all or even get back
low,
is
right?
Minuscule.
Okay, so this is my point, is that the other day when we had Tony Gonzalez in, and this is what triggered the thought for me. He talked about how your confidence is such a big thing when you're a player. And you and I have talked about how, when the 2001 Patriots won, Vinatieri makes the kick, all of a sudden now they're all champions. Tom Brady starts showing up for subsequent seasons saying, I know I can do this. I have the confidence to win a championship because I've already done it once. I can do it again. I do believe that there is this mental and psychological hurdle that exists with winning the Super Bowl in particular, but Stanley Cups, whatever, championships. There is this barrier that exists there.
Okay, well, here it is. I got it.
So wouldn't you rather have May get over that?
Listen, trivia time. Unless I have it, listen, I just pulled up an email from a listener, so this is wrong. Don't blame me. And you can fill this in, but I'm going to trust the emailer here on this for the time being. Name the number of quarterbacks who lost in the Super Bowl and came back and later won one.
I'm going to say it's 3 guys tops.
4.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so
can I guess a couple of them?
Yes, please. That's what I'm asking. So one is recent and you should know.
Okay, so is Len Dawson one of them?
Very good. That's the first one. I said one is recent that you should know.
Okay.
The most recent.
Oh God! Now I'm drawing a blank.
Okay, you somehow get Len Dawson, but don't remember Jalen Hurts.
Okay, Jalen Hurts, of course.
Okay, so Jalen Hurts. Len Dawson was the first. Jalen Hurts was the last. There's 2 in between. Okay, the other one's Bob Greasy. You don't have to get that one. Then there's one more. Who? John Elway.
John Elway.
Excellent
right.
job,
I had Elway
sir.
in my head earlier.
Excellent job, John Elway.
Is right. Okay, and Elway did it much later in his career. He lost the first 3. But at least he got back right away, right?
So the quarterbacks that lost early, there's just a long list of guys that lost early in their first crack and never won. I'll just give you a long list of those guys. Fran Tarkington, Ron Jaworski, Dan Marino,
Jim Kelly,
Boomer Esiason, Jim Kelly, Drew Bledsoe, Steve McNair, Donovan McNabb. I don't know if you consider these guys elite. Matt Hasselbeck.
And some of those guys never get back.
Right, exactly.
So this is a big one for me. If you think about what you want the Patriots to be in the Drake May era, get him over the hump. Get him over the hump. Because the first impression things with quarterbacks make a difference. Look at Justin Herbert. We all think of him as being a choker now. Not that it happened to him in the biggest game. But May has not had a great postseason. Now he's in the game in his second year. If you can get him over the hump, he shows up next year with a totally different viewpoint on what his career can be. And okay, now I can start racking him up. So I just think that's a big thing. It's easy to look at it and say the 2025 season has meant, worlds to a lot of different people right now because they're already here and it's gravy. Fine. But for Drake May, it's better to win this game. You don't want him to have to lug that around and all of a sudden...
Cam Newton, Matt Ryan, Joe Burrow. Guys who got there early, never... cases got back or won it again. And there's someone out there I'm sure can check the history on that. Maybe there's another one that we're missing that did lose early and came back. But it's not kind.
Yeah, I just think you don't want to have that baggage if you don't need it, is the point. Once you start losing Super Bowls, it's baggage. Whether it's your first year and you deserve the baggage or not, it becomes baggage. People will ask you about it. You have to answer for it one way or the other. If you win it, the whole different, the narrative is completely different.
Even if you're a loser, the rest of your career you're considered a winner. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson.
Right.
Guys that won early and then never won dick the rest of their careers, but somehow people consider them winners. Win early, and that's the wind at your sails your whole career.
Totally.
So those are the stakes for Drake May. I would agree with that. All right, some phones here as promised. To help me out, Jeff, back there. How about Tom in Nashua on line 1? Go ahead, Tom.
All right, boys, hear me out. Tomorrow night, reality hits Patriots fans, and the easiest path to the Super Bowl gets exposed. Drake May sees ghosts, Darnold sees Lombardi. Bring me up for Kenny Walker and 2 touchdowns. Talk to him by 14 at least. Karma comes back to Pats fans in 2019.
Okay, Tommy. How about John in Malden on line 2 there? Jeff, go ahead, John.
Well, I hate to pile on, but as a Bostonian, I'd love to see the Pats win. That would be great for the city, but I agree with this last guy. Seattle's a better team, Felger. I mean, I know you think it's close, but they're the way better team. Way better. And this nonsense that Sam Darnold is going to crap his pants. How many quarterbacks win 14 consecutive games in 2 years on 2 different teams? Everybody's just waiting for this guy to crap his pants. The NFC is way better than the AFC this year. They beat the 49ers pants off. Yeah, they had a lot of injuries, and they beat the Rams, who are one of the best teams in the league. The Pats, I just don't see it. If the Pats win, it's going to be very close. But if Seattle wins, they're going to cover that spread because they're way better.
Okay, John, I disagree with you. I don't think they're way better. I do like how crapping their pants has entered the vernacular.
Yes.
It's entered it's a common thing to say. If a quarterback has a bad day, he's crapped his pants. I'd like to take credit for that as a program.
Oh, no, it's like basically one of our commandments.
I think that's entered the lexicon thanks to us.
Pants crapping.
I know.
Should be an official metric.
Let's do Tommy and Lynn on line 4 there, Jeff. Tommy and Lynn, what do you got to say today, Tommy?
All right, this is what I got to say. There is going to be a pants dropping, and it's going to be Donald dropping his pants. The Patriots defense is going to go after him, and Milton Williams is going to have a big game, and Drake May is going to be your Super Bowl MVP. He's going to show up, and he's going to take over in this game. Him and Diggs and Stevenson, let's go.
Okay, Tommy, thanks very much. I mean, is it Sam Darnold the odds-on favorite for MVP and then Drake May? It would have to be. Probably.
I would think because Seattle's favored.
It follows the game odds for sure.
Makes sense.
How about Chris in Maine on line 7? Hi, Chris. What do you got?
Hey, guys. Honestly, I'm telling you, everyone's talking about Drake May's his problem with fumbling. I think the issue is the offensive line. The second half of the season has been piss poor compared to the first half of the season. Honestly.
Okay, say that again. I'm sorry, I did miss you on that.
I lost him too.
The left side of the Patriots' offensive line is an issue.
Definitely.
I mean, there's just no other way to say it.
It might be the biggest issue they have in the game when you really think about it. I mean, what's bigger than that? If you look at May and you say May has played poorly, okay, fine, but you know what the upside is. The offensive line, or the left side of that offensive line to me has been suspect in just about every game. A suspect at a minimum.
We have got, Scott in Florida, please. Line 3. Hi, Scott. What do you got for Mazz?
Hey, how you doing, guys? Thanks for the memories over the years. I grew up a Patriots fan, born in Bellingham, and my parents, Roxbury and Jamaica Plain, and family in Brockton. So, Mazz, can you hear me?
Yes, yep, loud and clear.
Well, it's an honor to speak with you, sir. And, one of my fond memories was with you guys, which is, like I said, thanks for the memories over the years. It's been great to listen to you guys the week before a game and after a game. And to our last Super Bowl that we played Seattle, after, they passed instead of giving it to the beast mode, you had done an impression of Pete Carroll, and it was hilarious, man.
Thank you, Scott. I'm going to let you go. Mazz's Pete Carroll spot on. The game is playing over and over. And is that just a thing that we're running in the bar here?
I think it is, yes.
Okay. I mean, it's just,
it's a loop.
I feel like I was watching on the NFL Network earlier, like over and over. If you're Seattle, you must have PTSD, especially having to listen to Pete Carroll.
Well, you know what? Earlier in the day, they had a Seattle fan thing in the bar next door.
Oh, they did?
Oh, yeah. So they all filed out. It might have been the other half of this bar. I think this is their function space. So they had all the Seattle fans. This bar right here is like Brady. They're flip-flopping both sides. So, they're keeping everybody happy. But the Seattle crowd was in there at 2 o'clock. Then they got them out of here, and all of a sudden they're all wearing Patriots colors.
Nice.
The employees.
He wants to hear your Pete Carroll is what he said.
I need a little warm-up for that and some alcohol probably. But
here's Tom in, is it Mattapan on line 5 there? Hi, Tommy.
Yeah, it is. Hey, guys. So the kicking game, we all want a close game, so I'm thinking about, I don't want to talk about Mazz because I know what he thinks about the punter. But if it comes down to a field goal at the end, I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, can Borregales be like, on the verge of Vinatieri getting the Hall of Fame, do something like that?
Sure. Tell me your thoughts on who's Seattle's kicker.
Jason Myers, I think.
Myers, I'm sorry.
Is it? Yeah, I think it's Jason Myers. I mean, I think he's been around a while. I think he's pretty steady. He's a pretty solid guy. I don't know much about their punter. Borregales to win the Super Bowl as a rookie scares me a little bit. That's a big spot. That's tough. Vinatieri had been around a while by then and obviously had made some just massive kicks, or at least maybe the biggest kick in the history of the league. Borregales in that spot would scare me if I were the Seahawks. I'd feel a little bit better about Myers. The punter, Behringer, forget it. Useless.
But Andrews has a good point. There's so much less pressure on a punter. I mean, all you've cost yourself is some field position. It's almost never points unless you do, fumble a punt or something like that, fumble the snap or something. It's almost never, directly results in points.
True.
So it's like little pressure, and they still gag it half the time. All right, we continue with your calls. Also, Albert Breer standing by. We'll talk to him coming up here. Felger and Mazz from San Francisco. Don't go anywhere. And again, we're brought to you today by Coors Light. When the big game heats up, cool down with ice cold Coors Light. I think we've been doing a little bit of that this afternoon ourselves here from Underdogs Cantina in San Francisco. Back right after this.
Are you in the park?
All right, welcome back to the program. We're joined by another guest. Bert Breer of SI.com joins us now on the program. You got fans, Bert.
I guess I do.
I didn't realize that was. I didn't realize that was a thing.
Me neither. I don't know what they're actually saying about me behind my back. So
it's never anything good, Bert.
It's never anything good.
How's your week been,
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. It's been good. I like San Francisco. You just have to know where to go. And I know you guys got yourself in a little hot water there, right? But
I mean, define hot water. So they wrote a column and put it on the front page of the paper.
But I would, like I told you, if I were you, I would have gone and got the paper and framed it.
No, so I've been trying to find it. I can't find it. They don't sell the newspaper anywhere. You can't go to a convenience store and buy a newspaper. I walked to the San Francisco Chronicle. The building was right over here.
Right, it's right by the media center.
Right by the media center. So I walked in to get a paper. The security guard wouldn't even call into the newsroom to ask me. I said, just poke your head in there and say you got a paper from yesterday and hand me a newspaper. Nope. You
probably have to buy it on their website.
Oh my God, this is so weird. But no,
so I mean,
want the newspaper.
I would encourage any of you guys to go to North Beach, to go to the marina. I mean, it's a beautiful city.
It is.
You have to know where to go. It's a pain in the ass that the teams are so far away, but. It just means being on the shuttle bus and working from there.
You need to know where not to go. Unfortunately,
that's probably a better way to put it.
The where not to go is too close to
where you're staying,
where the hotels and the convention center.
Yeah.
So it's just. And I'm sorry, San Francisco's low end is lower than most. It's worse than most. But listen, I don't want to go back into that. Bert, what do you think about this week? What have you learned this week?
I think the teams are a little different. I still think Seattle has a pretty distinct talent advantage. Doesn't mean they're going to win, but I just think their program's a little further along. And I think the teams have a little bit of
What does that mean, their program's further along?
Well, they're in year 2. And the Patriots are in year 1 under Vrabel. And you can kind of it's a very defined vision for what they've built. And you see a lot of their guys have elevated. And I said before the year about Seattle, I felt like they were in the same spot as the Packers before the Packers traded for Micah Parsons, which was they had a lot of very good players. And if those guys elevated to becoming great players, then they'd have a chance. They have probably the best interior defensive lineman in football in Leonard Williams, the best receiver in football in Jackson Smith-Njigba, one of the 4 or 5 best left tackles in football in Charles Cross.
Really? He's that?
And so you start to go across the board, and it's a lot of these guys who were very good players last year that have now become great players. Then they add rookies. Nicky Minwari on defense, Gray Zabel on offense. Kenneth Walker has been great in the playoffs. And so I think that the difference in the teams is on the high end of Seattle's talent. And I think the other difference is just kind of the approach to this week. And I think the Patriots have a chip on their shoulder. And I think it's a little bit, I think the parallel to 01 is that 01 team, we thought they weren't very good from a talent perspective.
Turns out they were.
And I think that is a little bit of what Mike is leaning into. And every time I've been around them, they're complaining about somebody else getting credit. Coming off the field, it was everyone said the Denver offense.
So annoying.
But that's their chip. That's the chip on their shoulder. Right?
Listen, it's totally worked for them. I'm not telling them not to do it, but it's just kind of annoying. Go ahead.
And the difference is Seattle comes in.
You said, you thought Houston had a good defense, didn't you? Yeah, Houston has a good defense. Sorry. Sorry, I said Houston has a good defense. Sorry, guys.
And the difference.
So disrespectful.
And Seattle's coming in, and their whole saying is loose and focused, right?
Say it again?
Loose and focused.
That's Seattle?
That's Seattle, and you can feel
That's not as catchy as we all we need. That's not as good.
I like the Patriots motto better.
They know how good they are. Seattle, you can feel it being around them. They know, this is a wagon, and everyone's going to find out how good we are on Sunday. And so it's just it's just a little bit of a different feel. Not that one's better or worse. It's just you kind of had that feel where Seattle feels like they're already up here, and we're just going to show everybody how good we are. And where the Patriots is a little bit more of the underdog climbing up, and you don't know what you're dealing with.
I'd rather be the Patriots in that little scenario.
Okay, so Minwari.
Yep.
How significant an injury?
Massive.
Okay, and you think it's no?
So I just tell you
the injury itself is significant.
That scheme, the Seattle scheme, is the same scheme that Baltimore runs and the Chargers run. The Patriots' entire offensive game plan when they played Baltimore was dealing with Kyle Hamilton. When they played the Chargers was dealing with Derwin James. That's what Nicky Memori is. He is that player. And what he allows them to do, and I think that this is a real important matchup thing if you want to get in the nitty-gritty of the X's and O's of it, right? One of the things that Josh does best is he manipulates personnel groupings to create matchups. We saw it, of course, over the years with the tight ends. So what Nicky Memori does is he negates that. Because, okay, like you want to put 2 tight ends on the field, we don't have to go to our base defense because Memori is basically a linebacker. You want to spread us out, Memori can cover. He is like this joker of a player out there that's a lot like Kyle Hamilton, a lot like Derwin James in the same defensive scheme. And so I would think that they're going to test him early to see where he's at.
So what I was going to ask you in addition was, have you been able to gauge or assess at all the severity of the injury?
So he went up in practice and landed on it funny. My understanding is it's a basketball player injury. And I guess basketball, I don't cover the NBA, but what somebody told me is it's an injury that's like common with basketball players where they just land on their ankle.
Yeah, they roll it.
Because they go up and down a bunch, right? He had something like it in camp. It was minor then. It's, I think, one of these things where, you know, you're going to see when you get out there. And, you know, they feel like he's going to be okay, but he didn't practice on Thursday. And then they had what they call this ATC practice. I think that's what they call it. It's alignment technique. It's like a slower pace of practice.
A walkthrough?
Yeah, it's not a walkthrough, but it's...
Okay, Berko.
Anyway, but he wasn't pushing it. And so I think that there's a little bit of an unknown, but they feel good about where he is physically.
How real do you think Drake May's shoulder injury was?
Oh, I think it's real in that, you know, it was interesting. I had this conversation with a few quarterbacks coaches after Derek Carr retired. And, you know, he had to have that surgery, right? And there was this big dispute between the Saints and him. And a couple guys who coach quarterbacks told me, like, that's a surgery that any quarterback could have at any time. And there's fraying in their shoulders, and by the time they get older, it just kind of gets to the point where they're going to have to get it done at some point. I'm sure it's similar to pitchers right now.
Sure.
So, like, I think there was, you know, from what I understand, just a normal level of wear and tear that a lot of quarterbacks deal with, and that isn't unusual. And then he lands on it, and it aggravates it. And so, you know, you're careful with it last week. Is it going to limit him? I mean, I don't know. This is a kid who... What was the most games he'd ever played in a season before this one?
Probably.
Good question. Last year,
13,
maybe.
14.
Well, no, last year he played 10.
Okay.
The year before, like in college,
in college,
12.
Do you play 13 games?
12, so this is his 21st game.
Yeah.
You know, so there's like a little bit more wear and tear, a little bit more fatigue, and then you land on it, and it's... So, like, again, I sort of view it similar to Sam Darnold's oblique, you know, where... Now it's something you just got to manage and monitor.
So the throws that he was shorting, for lack of a better word, in the Denver game, related or not?
I mean, even the one to me, and I think that you can also, you know, like, I hate to bring up the hand size thing, but like, you know, it does feel like the conditions may have affected him a little bit more over the last 3 weeks, which they won't be a problem out here. So I think that may be a part of it, but it did look like, I think the best throw he made against Denver was like the deep outbreaking route to Mullins on the, I think it was a flea flicker, right?
It was, yes.
Right, and if you watch that throw, he did a good job of getting the ball there, but he kind of shot putted it. And if you ever thrown a football, if you ever seen it, like sometimes it slips off the guy's palm, you've seen a little bit of that. And again, like, I don't know if that's the shoulder, because sometimes it can cause you to overcompensate a little bit, or it could be just the conditions and the hand size.
Bert Breer joining us here from San Francisco. We were talking to Zoe earlier. And not only do a lot of fans, and frankly us, still think Sam Darnold is a pants crapper, according to Zoe, the Patriots think he's a pants crapper.
Wow, Zoe came out and said that.
Yes. And
just now here?
Yes.
They saved that for Saturday, huh?
Their plan is to go get him because they don't think much of Sam Darnold.
Okay, so we have 2 years of evidence now, right? I think Drake's ceiling's higher. But we have 2 years of evidence that this is what Sam is. He's won 14 games 2 years in a row with 2 different teams. He did have a bad finish to last year. However, his entire offensive line was out for that game, and the Rams whooped them up front. Like, he didn't have much of a chance. To me, like, the evidence that he might that a corner's been turned was in the first Rams game they played. Now, they beat them twice. The first Rams game they played, he threw 4 interceptions. And at the end of that game, they were down by 2 scores. He led them down the field, scored a touchdown, and then in like a almost impossible situation at the end, led them down the field again, and they missed a potential game-winning field goal. And to me, like, that was, I just think that's a sign of growth from Sam, because if he is the pants crapper and he throws 4 interceptions against that team in that setting on the road,
then he doesn't come back at the end.
You
think he's graduated beyond the pants crapping?
Yeah, and I think, like, the key for the Patriots is going to be...
Now it's just a little squirt.
You got to be careful with those, Mazz.
Yep.
Can't take too much risk when it comes to that. I would say, like, I think that Rams game is like, if you're gonna crumble, wouldn't you have crumbled in that spot? Like, if that's who he is, aren't you gonna crumble in that spot? And I thought he was tremendous in the NFC Championship game, and honestly, like, it's funny.
So you think it's a mistake to underestimate him?
Yeah. He played great at the end of the NFC Championship game. And look, that was against Matthew Stafford playing at an otherworldly level. I talked to a couple of Patriots guys about this week, about like what that game looked like on tape and what the Seattle defense looked like on tape. The guy didn't know who I voted for MVP, but he said to me, he's like, after watching that tape, and this is a Patriots guy, if you voted for Stafford, I don't blame you. Like, Stafford was that good in that game, and he wound up outgunning him. Now, it's not the same scenario. Seattle's defense is better than the Rams' defense, but in that sort of setting, being able to play at that high level, I mean, what are people going to say if he wins this game?
Darnold?
Yeah. Is it over, or are we still? If they blow the Patriots,
depends how he plays. If he's a sidecar,
right.
Then he's Trent Dilfer. If he leads the way, then it's like, okay,
right.
Yeah, he finally, all right, I'll stand down.
I mean, he's been top 10 in a lot of categories. This year, he was top 10 in a lot of categories. Last year, he's a good quarterback. And I think our problem, I'll call Big Jim out. I think this Big Jim's problem is this has become such a yes or no question.
It's so annoying.
It's such a yes or no question. It's either yes he is,
and
or
there's only
no he is.
2 or 3 guys that are a yes.
Right.
Everybody else sucks.
And then it's like there's no mid-level where, look, like, it's not like it used to be where it used to be you could be, if you were really, really good around the quarterback, like, you could win a Super Bowl, right? Like Eli Manning, Joe Flacco. I don't think those were great players, but you were really good around him. And now it's gotten to the point, because of the rules and the passing game and everything else, like, it does feel like you have to be almost perfect.
Okay. Bert, we got less than a minute left. Who do you like and why? Say it. Say it.
Seattle 23, Patriots 20.
Boo, boo.
23-20 or 23-21? What'd you say? What'd you get for a score?
23-20.
Oh, 23-20.
That's a cover, right?
Why?
It's a cover. I just think they're the better team, and I'm so impressed with what the Patriots have done, and I think they're set up for a long time to come. You were right.
Quit your equivocating. Why?
Mike, you were right.
Thank you.
Like, you were right. Like that path thing, you were right. 100%.
Thank you.
What's interesting to me is, like, you think about this path, and I think they're going to be back, right? But the opportunity thing here is important, okay? Patrick Mahomes has played in 7 AFC Championship games. Do you know who his opponents were in those 7 quarterback-wise? Tom Brady, Ryan Tannehill, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow again, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Those are the 7 quarterbacks. And in the year he played Tannehill...
And we got Jared Stidham.
And in the year he played Tannehill, the week before that, he played Deshaun Watson when Deshaun Watson was still like a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah.
So the fact that you've avoided the 4 best quarterbacks in football going into the year, that I think was unequivocal.
Not likely to happen again.
Well, I always thought, like, the thing about the AFC is, like, well, what's going to be so difficult about it is you're going to have to go through some combination of Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen.
Bert.
Yeah.
Why do you like the Seahawks in this game? Quickly.
See, he got me focused. I just think that their defense is going to win the game for them. I think they are too tough on defense. I think they're going to be able to throw the ball on early downs. I think Clint Kubiak's really good. I think the advantage you have might be with the head coach and the quarterback. But I think Mike McDonald is dynamite. Like, I think he's really, really good. So as good as Vrabel is, McDonald's really good too. As good as May is, Darnold's pretty good too.
Gotcha.
And Seattle's good better in a lot of other places.
Okay, Bert, go talk to the people. Now go explain yourself to the people. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks, guys.
And if you want to get out of here, that window's open. You can jump.
Be careful with the Ubers, guys. They don't know what they're doing.
Final segment of your thoughts and calls. Coming up here, Felger and Mazz from Underdogs Cantina, brought to you by Coors Light. When the big game heats up, cool down with ice-cold Coors Light. Back with the final segment.
Mazz.
All right, welcome back. Final time to the program. Felger and Mazz and our pregame party here brought to you by Coors Light. When the big game heats up, cool down with ice-cold Coors Light. And we'll just give you a minute here. I'm sorry I said we'd take your calls. We're not going to have time. We're going to just give you a closing minute here and then listen to Jimmy Stewart's season-ending montage, how the Patriots got here on the cusp of another championship, Mazz, which, again, every time you say it, you got to sort of check yourself. Like, seriously?
I mean, I've said this from the beginning, and again, as we get closer to the game, my sentiments start to change. But as we were here during the course of the week, the feeling, the experience for me was very different than any of the ones we had when Brady was the quarterback. Because during that era, you knew they were going to get here in all probability, or at least come really, really close and reach the AFC title game. It was automatic. So you planned it that way, and when you got there, it was like, okay, it's go time, and I think you just kind of condition yourself and pace it. This one caught me off guard. It caught a lot of us off guard. So even as we got here, it didn't feel like real. It didn't feel quite real. And not until, to me, in the last couple of days has it started to feel like, okay, this is legit. Tomorrow's game day, and now all of a sudden, here they are. It's amazing. If you had told me when we were growing up that the Patriots would go to 12 Super Bowls.
Hey, so you're on Planet Zippy.
Right. And I would say, in what lifetime?
Yeah.
I mean, I would tell you there were 12. They'd have a better chance growing up of 12 times getting the number one pick.
Well, here we go. Again, thanks to everyone here at Underdogs Cantina. Thanks to all of you for coming out here, all the Patriots fans that traveled and came to this show. We really do appreciate it. Thanks to Jim Louth and Dennis and Tyler and everyone that helped us down here with the broadcast, and Jeff back in Waltham. And most of all, thanks to Coors Light for bringing you this program today. Remember, be tuned all day tomorrow on the Sports Hub. Pre-game's going to start at 3:30. We have the game at 6:30, the Sosi and Zoe local call of Super Bowl 60, and then the post-game as well. And I've heard that if they win, you're just going to go all night. Something like that, okay? So thanks again, everyone, for bringing you the program. Here's the season-ending review, how we got here, and then we'll see you all tomorrow for Super Bowl 60. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Our goals will be to win the AFC East, to host home playoff games, and to compete for championships.
I have a ton of respect for Mike. I think he does a great job. He's prepares his teams well. They're very good in situational football.
Braves is the man.
Your over-under win total between 7.5 and 8.5.
Always go for the over.
Vrabel's going to pick the players. Cowden is a total yes man to Vrabel. They took a guard with the 11th overall pick. Congratulations on the Patriots. They'll use the 4th overall pick on a guard.
The New England Patriots select Will Campbell.
Milton Williams would be at the very top of my list if I was trying to build up a defensive line.
Hey, Steph.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, thanks. You said you had some kind of prior relationship with Coach Vrabel. Was he part of the draw for you to come here?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he was a big draw for me, seeing that he played the game of football. I'm worried about what's going to go right today and tomorrow and the next day.
Is there any chance you feel like there might be too much on his plate right now? You talked about him maybe wanting to play perfect or maybe looking tentative.
But trying not to give him too much. I think that's always the balance and the fine line.
Takes the shotgun snap here from the 36. Throws it right off the hands of Collins. An errant toss. 4th and 5.
Ball start. Offense number 66.
Will Campbell, the rookie.
That's just bad.
The great Mike Vrabel. Did anybody else watch the New England Patriots lose to the Las Vegas Raiders at home?
Now the Dolphins have the lead. And the kickoff right to left. The liner handled by Gibson on the run to the 20, to the 25 with a cut inside the 30. He bounces away near side to the 45-50. Gibson to the 35 of Miami 30. Touchdown, Patriots! The Ashby snap to Behringer. The swing of the right leg by Borregales. The kick sail into the uprights. It's good! And the Patriots have the lead with 15 seconds to go. The rookie delivers.
I'm in. Pop Sosi is back calling game winners.
First down, Patriots. Over the middle to Diggs. Boy, May knew exactly where he was going with the football.
May's back to pass. Steps up. Now he starts to run. Carrying to the right. Gets outside of Devin Bush and runs along the far sideline for a first down.
Drake May, he's giving this team a lift, and they're legitimate this year. They're a contender this year.
Drake May, I would still have as my number one MVP right now.
May under center. Tosses it right for Travion Henderson. Tries to bounce it back left. He sprints across the 40. Inside 45-50. 45-40. 2 men to beat. 25-20. 50-10. The Patriots, division champs. They won't be the number 1 seed, it looks like, but they're bound for the playoffs in a matchup, it appears, with the Los Angeles Chargers.
Huh? Yeah. Put up or shut up time.
4th down. Herbert hit to end it. Milton Williams, Super Bowl champion with the Eagles. Super Bowl dreams remain alive for Williams and the Patriots. They are moving on.
His consistency has been really good, his leadership, and certainly has come up in big moments.
Patriots can win the whole damn thing. Your coach, man, he's unbelievable. I love him.
Stroud throws it up in the air. Intercepted Marcus Jones. Right 20, 15, 10. Touchdown!
He's in.
Patriots!
Look at it. It's nuts again. Pressure off the edge. Jones picks it up, and the rest is history.
May is under center. Victory formation. He drives to the left knee, and the second-year quarterback is about to play in an AFC Championship game in Denver. The Patriots win it over the Texans 28-16.
On the second to last play in overtime, Bo fractured a bone in his right ankle, which will put him out for the rest of the season. Steady's ready to go.
Stidham takes the snap. Patriots with a blitz. He backpedals. He's in trouble. Pressure by Ellis. Ball was loose. It bounds along the far side. Picked up by Ponder. He's going to run it into the end zone. It's a scoop and score for the Patriots. If it's he's going to run it into the end zone. It's a scoop and score for the Patriots if it stands.
After discussion on the field, it was a backward pass by the quarterback.
There you go.
Picked up by New England.
Yes!
First down for the Patriots.
Quarterback draw. Across the 5. Across the goal line right. Touchdown! Patriots!
They split. He reads man, and the tide is turned.
Now the wind at his back and the snow as well. Andy Borregales leans forward. The snap from Julian Ashby to Behringer. The right leg drives the kick to the uprights. It's good. And the Patriots have their first lead in this AFC Championship. The snap from Faboni. It's handled by Crawshaw. The kick is an end-over-end low-line drive, and it's no good off to the left. Again, nothing is automatic.
Tips. How about that? Just brought up Leonard Taylor off the practice squad last night.
Drake made to the knee for the final time. Unbelievable. The Patriots will spill off their sideline in the snow in a celebration a mile high. They are headed to Santa Clara.
You know, for you, Mike, you have a chance to be the first person ever to both win a Super Bowl as a player and as a coach for the same franchise, which would be incredible. How about that?
I won't win it. It'll be the players that'll win the game. I promise you. It won't be me that'll win it, and I promise you I'll do everything that I can and our staff to have them ready for the game.